Tonight on the Black Channel. Well, you would have figured after the election these folks would have reached their equilibrium, and you would be wrong. They're becoming more unhinged than ever and completely losing their minds. We have a completely stacked and chock full program tonight. Strap in and hang on tight because the Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and still uncompromising. This is the Black Channel, and I am the Black Authority, and I'm very glad to be with you all here this evening, and we're going to just go ahead and jump right into it here. We have a lot of ground to cover, so we need to go ahead and get rolling. And folks here, boy, I'm trying to figure out where exactly I should start, so let me go ahead and start in one place here in particular, just to go ahead and do a little bit of housekeeping on CNN. Just real quick here, we're going to deal with this. On CNN, they are having some fits about a few things. They're upset because Trump is beginning to name folks he wants in his cabinet. And of course, it's all the right-wingers, white supremacists, alt-right, everything. I mean, he's just ripping the gates of hell open. He has unleashed the gates of hell, and every miscreant, every nativist, everything you could possibly imagine, the dregs of society, and they're all just running wild out there. It's like Disney's Fantasia. They've opened up the gates of hell, and they're just running wild out there now. So they want to make Mike Huckabee the ambassador to Israel, and so, of course, AIPAC and their lobby are flexing their muscles at this point right now. And CNN got upset about this. I want you to hear what they had to say here. They were playing some comments from Mike Huckabee, and I want you to hear exactly what they had to say.
So we did reach out to Huckabee personally. We reached out to the Trump transition, and we asked them if he stood by those comments. We didn't hear back from either of them, so it's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out, especially with the conflict that's going on right now in Gaza.
Certainly, and raises questions of the voters and the voters who had voted for Jill Stein as an opposition to Kamala Harris, so they may feel about what
some of them even voted for.
Yeah, now, this is CNN. Well, the voters who voted for Jill Stein. I mean, let the salt flow. Let the salt flow. How did Jill Stein wind up getting brought up into this? She wasn't even a major factor. The Green Party wasn't really a major factor. And yet CNN, but all you Jill Stein voters, well, actually, they probably could have gotten their 100,000, 150,000 votes. They probably could have gotten that. So they're just mad at anybody and everybody. They're just raging at anyone and everyone. This is where they're at right now. So they are just big mad. Oh, they can't stand it. Can't stand it. And then there are other people out there. There are other folks out there at the Kamala Harris camp. People, they are just consumed with their feels. One of Kamala Harris's communication folk got on CNN, and you're going to have to hear this to believe this. He literally wants Kamala Harris to get a participation trophy. If she couldn't win the presidency, he wants her to be given the presidency. No, I'm not joking. This is literally what he said.
Joe Biden's been a phenomenal president. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. There's one promise left that he could fulfill, being a transitional figure. He could resign the presidency in the next 30 days, make Kamala Harris the president of the United States.
Whoa.
It would absolve her from being able to from having to oversee the January 6th transition, right, of her own defeat. And it would make sure that it would dominate the news at a point where Democrats have to learn drama and transparency and doing things that the public want to see is the time. This is the moment for us to change the entire perspective.
What? Take a look at that table. Everybody is laughing at him. Everyone at this table is laughing at. This is one of her. If you want to know why she lost the election, because this guy was on her campaign. She's lost the election. He's like, Joe Biden could just go ahead and step down and make her the president so that she can go ahead and she could still win. I mean, she lost, but she could still win. This is the level of immaturity that she hired in her campaign. This is the level they're going at. The election is over. You know, just because the election's over don't mean we lost, though. Just because the election's over don't mean we can't still win. You know, Joe Biden won, so I mean, if Joe Biden resign and give you the White House, ain't that just as good as you winning? No. We gotta go ahead and replay that again.
For Vice President Harris. Watch this.
Joe Biden has been a phenomenal president. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. There's one promise left.
President Harris. Watch this.
Joe Biden.
Now, take a look at this shot right here. This is when he first started talking. Look at everyone around the table. Before he set up here and unleashed this mental insane asylum screed he went on here. Look at everybody around the table. Look at this black woman here. Look at her expression. Look at the white dude. Look at Dana Bash. Look at their faces. And once he gets done, look what happens when they come back.
He's been a phenomenal president. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. There's one promise left that he could fulfill, being a transitional figure. He could resign the presidency in the next 30 days, make Kamala Harris the president of the United States.
Whoa.
It would absolve her from being able to from having to oversee the January 6th transition, right, of her own defeat. And it would make sure that it would dominate the news at a point where Democrats have to learn drama and transparency and doing things that the public want to see is the time. This is the moment for us to change.
Folks, what is beyond cringe? We need a word that is beyond cringe. We're going to have to come up with one that's beyond that, because cringe does not do this justice. Cringe does not summarize this right here. We need something beyond cringe.
Nigga, please.
We need that. So y'all, we're gonna have to come up with a word beyond cringe, because cringe does not do this justice. Kamala is literally making a rock so she can hide under it after hearing this. So it's everybody around the table is laughing. He's the only one who thinks this is a serious suggestion he's making. He's the only one who actually thinks this is a real suggestion he's making, that this can be taken seriously. He's the only one. I mean, saying it with a damn straight face, y'all.
It would make sure that it would dominate the news at a point where Democrats have to learn.
This is what happens when niggas who ain't got a job start sponging off of you for income. They try to figure out how to stretch this damn thing out as far as they can. He's like, just because the election is over doesn't mean you have to fire us, Kamala. If we can get Joe Biden to go ahead and step down, we can stretch this out for another 2 months. So this is people trying to keep their job. They trying to keep a paycheck coming in. He probably went to school for this or something, and this is what he came out with. Then you wonder why you lost the election to the guy serving fries at the drive-thru window at McDonald's. Then you wonder how that occurred. That's literally what's happening here. So the Kamala Harris campaign, believe it or not, the Kamala Harris campaign has achieved an incredible new level of breathtaking in Democratic elections. They're showing you that just because they lost the election doesn't mean that they are done making historic gaffes. They haven't let a little thing like losing the election get in the way of that. They're still continuing to stumble over their own feet and vomit all over themselves. So that's what's going on there. Okay, but in a step beyond even that, folks, hang on to yourselves. CNN is the gift that keeps on giving. This is over there in the news. I want you to hear this for yourselves.
How many of you are U.S. citizens? How many of you support Donald Trump? You're undocumented and you support Donald Trump.
I support Donald Trump for the economy.
Yeah, you heard that right. So you're sitting around the family there and whatnot, and y'all, we have found an illegal alien who's like, by the way, I voted for Trump. Or at least he supports Trump. Well, yes, I am illegal and I support Trump. The woman on CNN here, she's Spanish speaking and whatnot, she is indignant. Oh, she would punch this fella in the eye if she could get away with it. So I just wanted to sit here and show you all, by the way, if you thought that if you all thought for a moment that you had seen and heard everything. Oh no, Jason, where'd you go digging through the crates for this? Don't y'all know I came fully prepared for tonight's program to bring you the insight and analysis you'll receive absolutely nowhere else. Ain't possible. Ain't possible. So I know you hadn't heard this story.
In kids and children's mind and teenagers and young adults' life is a lie.
Gelasio Velasquez is an undocumented mechanic who has worked in Houston for 25 years.
25 years. He's been hanging out in Houston for 25 years. They hanging niggas and locking them up. He's illegal as he can be. The folks harassing the turkey leg hut ain't worried about him in Houston. What? The folks who are harassing us at the turkey leg hut, they're not worried about him. He been here since before 9/11. And the white supremacists in Houston who are harassing black folk ain't did nothing about him. He's sitting there with a whole damn auto shop and every damn thing. 25, a quarter of a century. He just chilling. So yeah, because they're focused on us. They're like, yeah, well, forget about him. He's used. What we gonna do about them niggas over there? It's that.
Velasquez is an undocumented mechanic who has worked in Houston for 25 years. He plays in this park with his 2 U.S. citizen children, ages 5 and 9, and stands by Donald Trump.
Folks, he ain't even worried about getting picked up. He is on CNN talking about I'm an illegal alien. What? Do you understand this? This is how bold they done got with it. We can't even sit up here and talk about we making copies of DVDs. He is literally on CNN talking about I am illegal and I support Trump. Do you understand what I'm talking about? This is a man with no fear. He got on CNN. Hey, I'm in the country illegally, by the way. Here I is. Why we gotta scrub in my face? This be good for business. Ain't nobody coming to get me. Do you understand this is where we at? He's like, he is literally not worried about anybody coming to get him. He's not on the local news. He on CNN. That's just how big they doing it now. This is how unafraid. He on CNN with his kids. Think about this. I am illegal. I'm illegal at the park. Hey, little illegal kids. Illegal kids, illegal transmissions. It's illegal auto repair. Illegal playground, illegal park, illegal interview. It's just in the state of Texas, by the way. Now, this is Texas. They'll be, we hard on crime. We tough on crime. They ain't tough on him. Very clearly, Texas is not tough on crime. They just tough on black folk because this is crime all over the damn place right here. What crime is he not committing? What law is he not breaking? I mean, then he's like, and I support Trump. Okay.
Park with his 2 U.S. citizen children, ages 5 and 9, and stands by Donald Trump.
So you support Donald Trump because of the economy?
For the economy, yes.
But you don't support the anti-immigrant rhetoric?
I'm not support the anti-immigrant action.
Do you support his mass deportations?
No, it's not human.
Are you afraid that you could be deported in this mass deportation?
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
Clearly he isn't. He's on camera on CNN. Why are you asking him, is he afraid? He's clearly not afraid. He's at the park with his kids. He's a Chuck E. Cheese. Are you afraid? Does this look afraid to
He plays in
you?
this park with his 2 U.S.
Do you see fear here? Are you afraid? I could have answered that one from you for Shreveport. When she said that, are you afraid? No, he's not afraid. Clearly he isn't.
U.S. citizen children, ages 5 and 9, and stands by Donald Trump.
So you support Donald Trump, his mass deportations?
No, it's not human.
Are you afraid that you could be deported in this mass deportation?
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
Espinosa runs a migrant advocacy group and says many people are afraid and have called him in tears.
I think there's a high.
So clearly there's a conflict among illegals and whatnot. So it's just, on the one hand, they ain't worried. On the other hand, some others are. So it's clearly they're not all worried about the same thing. Obviously, they are not all worried about the same thing. Obviously, they're not. Obviously not. Now, folks, some people are in a tailspin. Their heads are spinning so much they're just spinning off their necks. And it kind of dovetails off the illegals thing here. It kind of dovetails off of that. Because there's some folks out there, y'all, they've been getting a free lunch for a while. They've been rolling for a minute here. They don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know what to do. They're beside themselves. And that brings us over here to Bowling Ball Martin, the gift that keeps on giving. I know I'm coming at you rapid fire here tonight. And by the way, y'all, if I'm telling the truth on tonight's program, give me the television emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. It's over 3,500 people in here live in just the first 15 minutes. But if y'all agree with everything I'm saying here tonight, give me the television emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. Jason, why the television? Because we are the black media. And if you agree with what we're saying here tonight, hit the likes button for me. I know we're coming at you super fast and we're hitting you with a lot of things here real quick. We got to keep it going. So on Roland's program, he done brought whoever the hell this dude is over here. It's just like, okay, I guess you can't be on Roland's program if you ain't a plus size nigga. What? Very clearly. It's like, if you got a healthy BMI, you can't be on his program. So they got that going on. Now, listen to what this guy here has to say, because they're all over there apoplectic. Look it up. They're having conniptions. They're having fits. They're having epileptic seizures over there on his program. Now that they're on the outside looking in. He done brought this fella in here, and right on cue, I wonder who he thinks the problem is.
More than when there's a police shooting that you can count on the police department to do the investigation. The media is complicit in this. The media is complicit in the ways that they tore up Biden, only talked about his age, never talked about Trump's age, only talked bad about the economy, and then you wonder why people think that the economy was bad, when in fact it's the envy of the entire industrialized world. But all they did, and then now we're supposed to trust them to do this analysis, talk about economic anxiety. They can't do it because to talk about a real analysis that really talks about the issues of race and misogyny forces them to deal with themselves. But all they did, and then now we're supposed to trust them to do this analysis, talk about economic anxiety. They can't do it because to talk about a real analysis that really talks about the issues of race and misogyny.
What? Race and misogyny. This is what Roland Martin is still pushing today. Nigga, please. Race and misogyny. Think about that for just this. This is what Roland is still pushing now after the election, not during. We after the election, and he wants you to know it's about race and misogyny. It's always the oddball niggas that can't stick in with masculine men. They always want to, that misogyny. No, dude, y'all too moist. It's not that we're too manly. Y'all are too effete. Stop getting your nails and your hair did. Learn how to do some manual labor. Y'all is misogynies. We need some illegals. I need some illegals to... there's an illegal over there. Let me get him over there. He know he can work on my car for me.
This is an undocumented mechanic who has worked in...
This is why Roland Martin's folk over there, his panelists, we need some illegal over there right there. Oh, but I ain't gonna let it go, because on tonight's program here, yes, we are here to talk about idiot academics and Tether threats. They mad, they big mad, they angry as hell, they are mad as hell out there. Roland Martin went on an epic screed. He has compared Donald Trump to King Saul in the Bible. saying he's telling America, you the children of Israel, and you've rejected God, and you want a king instead of having God. So I guess Joe Biden is God, and Donald Trump is King Saul. So clearly that's the point that Roland is trying to make here with that analogy. But during the course of it, Roland wanted to warn all of us, or I should say threaten all of us, to say, by the way, America, you done messed up and now you gonna get what you gonna get. He wanted to threaten all of us to let us know that we screwed up bad, and that he's speaking on the side of God, of course, naturally, because God would certainly talk through Roland. He's here to let us all know how badly we messed up and how badly we're going to be punished for doing so, and exactly how it's going to happen. Listen for yourselves. By the way, fair use CNN, fair use bowling ball, fair use everybody, fair use.
Hey, folks off. I'm just letting all y'all understand what's about to come down. To see, America, y'all have decided that you want a king. And the reality is, we left that Pharaoh back after 2020.
Okay, so then what is Joe Biden then? If Trump is Pharaoh, then what was Biden? Why doesn't he tell us what Biden was? Biden was the promised land. Biden was everything going great. Nigga, why are you so salty now if Biden was everything going great? So do you all hear what he's saying? Trump was Pharaoh, so Biden was liberation? What the hell? Y'all, are they lacing Krispy Kreme donuts with fentanyl or crack or something here? Damn! What are they doing here to get you to talk crazy? Are they lacing Krispy Kreme donuts with PCP? What's happening here, man? What in the world's going on?
That Pharaoh back after 2020. But see, some of y'all said, no, we want a king. We want him back. Oh, yeah, go ahead, King. Go on, King Trump. Send 11, 20 million people back. Deport everybody. Go right ahead.
That's the first thing he names. Now, on a serious note, did you all notice that's the first thing he named? He doesn't say anything about white supremacy. He doesn't say anything about what we need as black folk. He's first going to non-citizens. Now, that's his priority. If you want to know why it is that we gave them the Anchor Baby and Tether labels, it's because when the rubber meets the road, what is his priority? And he just told you this is the thing he's most concerned about. Well, then who is his camaraderie with? Obviously not us. He has a microphone. He has a platform, such as it is. If he can get them big ham hock feet to stand on top of it. What? And he's letting you know that, by the way, his priority is his camaraderie and allegiance with non-citizens. He's here to speak for their interests. And furthermore, not about life and limb. He's here to stand up for their economic interests. He tells you and me we need to go to school and get a degree. But for the illegals, whoa, we got to look out for $8. So just to give you a reminder there that, by the way, he's letting you know what his priorities are. He comes right out the gate. What about the illegals? We got to look out for them. Then he starts trying to throw threats that if we don't back illegals, all the bad things that will happen to us if we don't support illegals.
20 million people back. Deport everybody. Go right ahead. I can't wait to see your food prices jump.
What? Nigga, your food prices need to jump. They need to quintuple your damn bills. Your food prices are not high enough. Clearly, you have access to too much affordable food. I didn't say healthy. He obviously has access to too much affordable food. We need to jack up your food prices. Your food prices are clearly not exorbitant enough. Clearly, they need to go up. Clearly, they need to be raised. We need to follow his ass around Kroger's and just change the prices, whatever the hell he's looking at. We need to take the sticker off in real time and boost that damn thing by about 10. Candy bar, $1.50. Oh, $15. For you. For everybody else, it's $1.50. Oh, for you, you get the rolling rate. He talking about getting food, keeping cheap food prices. Nigga, what did cheap food prices do for you? What did you do with cheap food prices? How did that help you? Jason, you roasting him. I'm not roasting a damn thing. This is mathematics. First thing he goes to is keeping food price. We need illegals to keep food prices down. That's the first thing he focuses on. We're all worried about life and limb and having a roof over your head. First thing he goes to, who gonna feed me? We need illegal. Who gonna feed me?
But see, some of y'all said, no, we want a king. We want him back. Oh, yeah, go ahead, King. Go on, King Trump. Send 11, 20 million people back. Deport everybody. Go right ahead. I can't wait to see your food prices jump because nobody's going to be available to pick that agriculture. Oh, I can't wait to the number when they start raiding companies. And then all of a sudden y'all say, well, why is this store closed? Well, ain't nobody here to work the store.
First of all, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden let over a record number of illegals. They let them over illegally. They broke the law in which doing it. They brought them in by planes. They were literally loading them up on airplanes, dropping them off in cities. And the food prices are shot up. So we let in a horde of illegals in the last 4 years, and the food prices shot up. He ain't saying a damn word about the connection between those two things. We've been letting in the illegals, and the food prices have shot up. That's the reason that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden got voted out of office, because despite letting in all these illegals, food prices are higher than they've ever been. He's threatening us with something that's already happening right now. And he's phrasing it as if, ooh, it gonna get real bad. It's real bad right now listening to your big Louis Rich built ass. We're already getting high. This is what the hell Democrats always do. They always threaten you with stuff you're already getting. Ooh, if you don't vote for us, all them abortions you getting, you won't be able to keep getting them. But we're already getting abortions. Yeah, but you better vote for me. You won't keep getting them. And all them high food prices, if you don't vote for me, they're going to get really high. But they're already really high. But they're going to get more really high if you don't vote for me. But they were lower before I voted for you. Yeah, but I can keep it from going way, way, way high. This is literally the nonsense and garbage and idiocy that they sit up here and try to promote. If you can't keep up with simple logic, they're sitting up here every day they wake up, it's new world. Just listen to me now. Food prices are already out of control. Gas prices are already out of control. Energy prices are already out of control. Housing prices are beyond belief. You have to be a millionaire in America now to afford a house. And Roland is telling you that if you would just let in more illegals, that will bring the prices down. Well, here's the problem with you, you Big Mac. We don't believe you. We don't believe you at all. And there's no reason to. Food prices have already jumped and skyrocketed. Don't think you're gonna threaten us, you meatball. We don't believe you and we know you're lying. Whatever you think you're gonna do the prices, nigga, go ahead and do it. You're not gonna sit up here and threaten us. You baconator built bastard. Go ahead. Whatever the hell you think you're going to do here, I dare you. Go ahead and go for it. No, you prove to us that that's going to happen. We don't believe you. We don't believe you. We're not worried about you and your little pathetic threats at the slightest. Imagine this damn munchkin built nigga sitting up here trying to threaten us. Y'all better listen to me, or else it's gonna go bad. Look here, you midget. Do what you gonna do. We don't believe this lie that you and all the other illegal alien supporters have been bandying around and parading around for decades. This lie that somehow illegals don't need any of us, that the illegals are doing all of us a favor. We didn't ask them to come here. We didn't request it. We never invite them. We never ask, but they're doing us a favor by showing up here. And it's always some inside the Beltway, Madison Avenue person, which Roland don't really qualify as, telling the rest of us that this thing that none of us asked for, and we keep talking about how bad it's going, but that we all really want it. You take a look here, you Oscar Mayer built bastard. We were fine before the illegals came here. We built this country without the illegals. We were doing fine before they came here. We'll be just fine without them. And that's what you don't like. If we wanted them here, we'd be telling you. There's always somebody from their lineage trying to tell you that we don't know what we want and we need to go along with that, and then got the nerve to think he gonna threaten us. If the illegals ain't here, nigga, take them out. We're not scared about that. Do whatever in the hell you think you gonna do. Nigga, this ain't like when you go to the Chinese restaurant and you threaten them at the buffet. What? They see your big ass rolling up to the buffet and a chill runs down their spine and they all get scared and they're contacting their next of kin. Like it's the movie Pacific Rim and the monsters are coming out to sea. That ain't us, dude. We're not worried about whatever the hell you threatening with. Do whatever it is. We gonna be just fine. As a matter of fact, we'll be better off when it's done. That's what you're scared of, is that when that gets done, everybody gonna be straight and you'll be like, oh hell, I ain't got backup no more. That's what you worried about. We're going to be just fine without them. We didn't ask them. We didn't send for you, so don't come for us. We going to be good. Carry your ass. We straight. Some fat bastard going to sit up here and threaten us with something we didn't even ask for. Threatening what's going to occur if we don't do what he wants us to do. Here's the crazy part about it. A lot of y'all don't even know what the damn numbers are for the illegals. Of course, being the new black media, I have to take care of this for you here, because otherwise you will get misinformation and outright lies from this bell pepper head looking nigga. You'll get nothing but lies from them. Well, Jason, what do the numbers look like? Well, Chris Cuomo just did an interview here with Tom Homan, who is going to be the border czar. He's going to be in charge of ICE. And he's at least going to try to do something about the border. I don't know everything he will do, but he won't be standing there handing out welcome cards as they come parading across the border. But Chris Cuomo had a few things to say here, and I thought this was rather interesting. Because I want you to hear exactly what Chris says here, because he's going to give you all some numbers. And I want you to hear exactly what the numbers are that he gives.
If you can do it as a terrorist organization, great. I think legally it may be tricky. Everything else you're suggesting makes total sense. Catch and release makes no sense. But this roundup idea, and I haven't heard Trump say it the way you have. So if you know better, great. And if it becomes more tailored the way you're suggesting, okay. But if you are just grabbing whoever you can grab, not only do you have families that get affected because they're not all here alone, but you lose like 1 in 8 of your construction workers, 1 in 8 of your agriculture workers, 1 in 8 of your, 1 in 12 of your hospitality workers. You lose a lot of people that the economy needs. Not all illegal entrants are the same.
What? Did you hear that? Not 50%. You lose, quote, 1/8. 1/8. Do you understand that? 1/8. 1/8 people, that's what? A little over 10%. A little over a tenth. For hospitality, a 12th. A 12th. Folks thought y'all were going to lose all your agriculture, all your hotel. Nigga, you going to lose like 10%. Maybe. You lose that in a recession. That's not an economy crashing event. Your economy will be just fine. The economy will be just fine. Y'all were thinking that you were going to lose 50%. Nobody told you, no, it's closer to like 10 or 12%. And if they're saying it's 10 or 12, it's probably going to be 5 or 6. If they're admitting to 10 or 12, it's probably going to be 5 or 6. Probably going to be 5 or 6. Folks were thinking you're going to lose 50% or 80%. No, you're not. And Roland is sitting up here trying to threaten us. Ooh, you might lose 10%. Nigga, and deal with it, nigga. And if they're admitting to the 10 or 12%, then the reality is it's probably closer to 5 or 6. They just want to make sure they don't have to pay black folk. The whole thing is, how do you prevent paying black folk? Because when we get up in there, we're going to make sure they're paying like they're supposed to. The white men who are allowed to run these illegal monopolies, from the Hilton chain, you damn right, folks, Hilton, IHG, Choice Hotels, all these folks are sitting up here running these illegal businesses that the states incentivize and help them to run. If it was a bunch of black folk, they'd be doing FBI raids and everything else. These white folk have major corporations, Marriott, Hilton, Choice, IHG, Hyatt, the biggest names on the planet that are being allowed to run with illegal labor. If it was a bunch of black folk making $1 billion on illegal labor, they would have been took all our hotels from us. They would have been come and grabbed them all. So I wanted to bring you all the numbers so that you recognize, by the way, these folks lying. They've been lying, and they're threatening you to make you believe it's going to be some damn apocalypse. How the hell you've watched your damn food prices double and triple, and Roland saying another 10% would be the end of the world. Don't you recognize a big ass liar when you hear one? No, they need to go ahead and round them up, and let's go ahead and straighten these numbers out. If you came in without permission, you don't have no problem going back where you were. We'll just start this over again. We will be fine. In fact, we will be better than fine. And whatever Roland thinks is going to happen, nigga, don't talk about it. Be about it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Don't make no damn threats over here, Hamburglar built bastard. Don't be throwing no threats. Be about it. Get to it. Don't tell us what you gonna do. Go ahead and y'all go ahead and fall back and show us that we can't keep this thing running without you. Don't be throwing no damn idle threats. Candy cane chomping nigga, go ahead and get to it. Show us that we can't make it without you. We don't believe you. We calling you big fat butt bluff. Show us we can't do it without you. Bet you're not gonna try that one. Go ahead and go have your little conference call and tell all the illegals, look here, we gonna flex on them. Y'all all gonna pick your asses up and go back home, and we gonna show them how everything crashed to a halt without them, and it was calamity. Don't talk about it. Prove it's true. But you know you can't because you never have. Go ahead and get to it. Show us that we can't make it without you. No, Pritzker family owns Hyatt. I mean, no, that would explain why they're the biggest illegal alien supporters there are. And have you seen Pritzker? That bastard is built like a meat lover's pizza. Damn. That's what he's done with the cheap food prices. Always some big fat round bastard telling us we need illegals and cheap food. The one fella who needs to back the hell away from the table. Let me see both hands and back away from the table. That's the only one who wants cheap food prices. The fella who needs to be on a damn fast. He don't need to be on fast food. He needs to be on the food fast. The fellows who need to be eating the least are the most obsessed with food prices. Could y'all imagine Pritzker and Roland at Thanksgiving? Damn. Oh, could you imagine them two at Thanksgiving? Cookie!
Nom, 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 oh, nom, nom, nom. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Oh, could y'all imagine them two at the table? Oh, Armageddon. Oh, your life, whoever's cooking your life, flashing before your damn eyes. Your life done flash before your eyes. You see them two round, rotund folk come through the door sideways. You thought it was going to be an East. Man, look here. You figure it's going to be a simple damn menu, and then them two come barreling through the door? And you know how it is with them. You know how it is with some fat person is. That nigga gets hungry again within like 2 hours. Like for the rest of us, we can go 4, 5, 6 hours without eating. Oh, for these folk right here, it's like they in constant starvation. He done ate 7 o'clock. Oh, 8:30, he got to get something else. Oh, 10 o'clock, got to get something else. Oh, 11:30, he couldn't even make it to 12 noon. Got to get something else. Oh, 1:30, got to get a snack. All right, 3 o'clock, got to get something else. I'll be damned. This bastard eat like a bodybuilder. It's like every hour and a half, he can grab something else. Ain't working out. It's just damn working out. He just go buy bigger clothes. Yeah, damn bigger weights. Let me just go get some bigger clothes. These are the folks who are worried about food prices and keeping food cheap. And they didn't succeed at keeping the damn food cheap. Here, bring in the illegals. So Pritzker's family has generational wealth, but the food prices have skyrocketed. Very clearly, it's very self-serving. Very clearly. But Roland is not done. Roland is not done yet, y'all. Roland wants to go ahead and let you know the other side of the coin.
Go right ahead. I can't wait to see your food prices jump because nobody's going to be available to pick that agriculture. Oh, I can't wait to the number when they start raiding companies. And then all of a sudden y'all say, why is this store closed? Well, ain't nobody here to work the store. I can't wait for that to happen. Trump has already laid out what he's going to do with education. I can't wait for all y'all college students who voted for Trump. And he starts sitting here getting rid of your professors and holding federal funds back until you bow down to MAGA.
Now he's threatening the college students. This is a big fat pizza face built powerless bastard. He's now threatening the college students. Now, 4 years ago, y'all remember, I showed you Roland Martin bragging that we didn't have to worry about you young folk because the civil rights generation was going to get Biden into office. So you young folks are irrelevant. Biden got all the old niggas. Remember? Roland Martin said you don't have to listen to young folk. Biden got the old niggas locked down. 4 years later, now Roland is real upset because the young folk ain't rolling with him. Oh, y'all college kids. Let me ask y'all something. How many college people are listening to me right now and you really gonna be heartbroken upset if your damn professor didn't show up next week? What? How many of y'all sitting there, damn mama, I sure do hope my professor be back next week? How many of you are in college and you all tore up and all worried about the professors being there next week because they doing such a great job and they're so valuable? What the hell kind of empty ass threat is this? What the hell kind of irrelevant ass, irrational, empty threat is this? Is the best he could do, and he had time to prepare this. This is the best that Roland could do, and he had time to come up with this list. How many of you who go to HBCUs and you really stressing about your professors being there? You know, man, I go to Jackson State. I need my professor to be here. I got the best of the best. How many of you are HBCU students and Jason, you got that wrong. We got the best professors here. We need our professors, Jason. We don't need them. We don't need none of them getting cut. How many of y'all that's you? I want to show of hands in this chat room. Who in here is terrified tonight that your professor is not going to show up Monday? They might cut the budget. They might get rid of him. He didn't even say how they're going to get rid of him. He never said how that was going to occur. He's just telling you it will. He never said one Trump policy that's going to do that, but he wants you to know, by the way, if you didn't vote for Biden, food prices out of control. Food prices are already in control. They're going to get rid of your professors. We already can't afford tuition. That's why folks are begging for loan forgiveness. He's threatening you with a bunch of stuff that's already happening. Now he's telling you, y'all going to miss your professors there. How many of y'all in college talking about, boy, Jason, you got that wrong, Jason. I really need my professor, though, Jason. You sure as I did. I really need this. Who in the hell's doing that? Who are these professors that Roland is talking about? Perhaps he's talking about professors like this chick here who was on Joy Reid's program.
When you know someone voted that way, do you recommend, just from a psychological standpoint, being around them? We got the holidays coming up.
So I love that you asked this question because, there is a push, I think just a societal norm that if somebody is your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going into a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said, against your livelihood. And it's completely fine to not be around those people.
What? This is Joy Reid. This is Joy Reid, and this is a Yale professor. They say Yale associated. These are the academics that Roland Martin is threatening us about. That Trump is going to get rid of all these wonderful academics. The Mark Lamont Hill and Michael Eric Dyson and Melissa Harris Perry. And Roland thinks he's threatening us with that. Yeah, y'all didn't vote for Biden. They going to get rid of all these professors. I'm like, ooh, hell, Man, can we bump that inauguration day up a few weeks? We were going to wait till January, but you think we can fit this in like November 30th? Can we go ahead and fast track that right quick? No, they're literally threatening us with that. Some whacked out psycho. I mean, just think about this for a few moments. If your kids are in school somewhere and this is the kind of chick leading the classroom, full damn well she hates men. She only wants to hear about LGBTQ, her particular kink of it. Another light-skinned misfit. The light-skinned folk gonna be upset with me tonight. They gonna take it on the chin, but yeah, boy, I'm telling you. Crazy beige. Crazy beige, y'all. We dealing with the crazy beiges. She got academic credentials and telling you that you don't need to be around your family. You just need to be around her. Now, is she going to argue that you shouldn't be around crazy, whacked out academics, that you need to get away from school? Is she going to argue for that one, that that's not healthy for you? She's going to tell you to get away from your family. As if everybody's supposed to agree on every damn thing. What the hell is this? How do you build communities and she's openly advocating against you being around your family members? I've told you all a lot of damn things. Even the chick who called me up a couple of weeks ago, she got a boyfriend and stuff. Remember, I told her, hey, baby, don't do like that. I said, you throwing ultimatums. I said, don't do it like that. Y'all heard me. I'm like, hey, don't do that. And he wants to vote for Kamala Harris. I'm like, hey, I'm not telling you to break up your relationship. This heifer on your damn screen will be the first one she's sitting up here telling you, yeah, break up your relationship. Don't be around them. Go ahead and get a divorce. Get away from your family. What the hell is this? What the hell is that? These are the psychos that they platform to say absolutely diabolical, demonic things like that. And of course, they bringing around black folk. MSNBC is not bringing the white folk on there to tell them to get away from their families. They look at you crazy because every election they switch from one party to another. They vote based on whatever their interests are. But you don't have them platforming white professors to go tell white families that they need to break up. Don't y'all be around for the holidays. Don't be around these folk. Cut these people off. Simple for a politician who wouldn't do it for you.
And deal with it, nigga.
What the hell are you talking about? This is how crazy these people are. Folks, they sitting up here telling you to gamify this stuff. Do you realize how cracked out and whacked out in your damn head you have to be to go along with that? You realize how whacked out of your damn skull you got to be to go along with that? When these other folk are not doing that for you? Jason, what the hell do you mean? This was Biden and Trump 2 days ago. Damn! Take a look on your screens. That's Joe Biden and Donald Trump 48 hours ago. 48 hours ago. So you got some crazy ass professor sitting up here telling you y'all need to break up your damn family based on the damn vote. And there's the guy who got voted out of office shaking hands with the man she talking about you need to break up your family over. And he's sitting right there giving a big ass hearty fraternity handshake while she telling you break up your family for the guy over here who's shaking hands with Trump. I want you to recognize how silly you are. I want to put this in your face. Do you realize how damn irrational you have to be? Joe Biden is okay shaking hands with Trump, and this chick is talking about break up your whole damn family over it. I'm like, well, break up the family. So it's totally unacceptable? Yeah, they're no good. Well, Biden shaking hands with the nigga. Biden done invited him to the White House just so they can shake hands. There's another picture of them two walking and smiling after this. While your Roland Martin defended academics are giving you such legendary advice like break up your damn family over the vote, Joe Biden isn't even breaking up a handshake. And she's telling you to trash your whole family. Well, there's Biden right there. Biden don't look so damn broke up over it. Biden isn't breaking up his damn family. He don't look like he's going into seizures over it. Biden doesn't look like he's breaking up his damn family. Okay, so we supposed to take it harder than Biden. That's what I mean by the gamification of politics. You become like a deranged sports fan, treating this more seriously than the players or even the owners of the football team do. You're treating it like life and death. They're looking forward to the next damn weekend so they can go play again. I'm just taking the damn wraps off of this for you all. I'm taking the veil off of it so you can see. She's sitting up here telling you it's life and death if you didn't support Biden. And if Trump wins, okay, there's Biden and there's Trump. After she said this, and she's going to tell you and me, don't pay no attention to what you see on your screen. Just ignore that. And just listen to her. Oh, yes, of course. And you also need to be a student in her damn class. Bowling ball Martin, we don't need them, no damn academics like that. Yeah, we could actually use a fewer professors and academics. We could use some fewer ones. We'll be just fine. Although some other folks out there are learning a brand new tune, brothers and sisters from around the world, some other folks out there are learning learning a brand new song. They're learning a whole new song right now. Well, Jason, what are you referring to? Well, over there on TikTok, well, there's old Joy Reid, the gift that keeps on giving. There's Joy Reid looking like Charlemagne the God. And this is what Joy Reid had to say. Now, hang on to your seats when you all hear this one. I want y'all to hang on to your seats for a minute so you can hear this part.
Hey, I just want to give some free advice to the white progressives, particularly white progressive women who may be thinking about marching against the Trump victory, maybe putting back on the P-word hats and doing that thing. I would just say probably don't send any of those invites to any black women you know. I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not coming. I'm pretty sure black women have resigned from the Save America Coalition, Save Democracy Coalition, and definitely the Save the Democratic Party Coalition. I think that's probably not happening. I would just keep those invites maybe among your own friends, because I don't think they're coming. But yeah, I think black women are now on the Save Black Women, Prioritize Black Men.
Nigga, please. Nigga, please. Nigga, please. Auntie, chill. Nigga, please. What? Nigga, please.
Did y'all hear that? She's threatening white women and telling them, by the way, she on something different.
But yeah, I think black women are now on the Save Black Women, Prioritize Black Men, and Prioritize Black Communities, Black Businesses, and that.
Y'all, I would say who hit Joy Reid over the head, but it presents such a wide open target, it would be hard to miss it at this point right now. But yeah, y'all, so Charles Barkley up here, Joy Reid, is sitting up here telling you all that she's now on the Save Black Women, Prioritize Black Men. Since when did Joy Reid stop being an enemy of black men and black patriarchy and black toxic masculinity? She's never had a good word to say about us. She has been chief public enemy number one, assaulting black men for years. They lost the damn election. Now she wants to circle the wagons. And all I can say to you, bald head hoes, is hell no!
And deal with it, nigga.
Keep your big skee ball ass on over there. We ain't got no room for you. We got no need for you. You done. Looking like a tan Chris Brown. No, we good. No, I'm dissing Chris right there. Chris look better than her. No, we good on you. Forget about it. Hell no, your pass is revoked. Your card is revoked. Stay your ass on over there. Ain't nothing over here for you. Pass revoked. No, baby, we ain't joining no hands. We ain't nothing. Putting you on notice. We got no need for you, no use for you. Y'all, she just tried to give us the hey, boo.
Nigga, please.
She just tried to give us the hey, boo. Hey, big head. You know, we with saving black women. So, okay, well, go ahead and do that. The men are the only ones saving anybody, but okay, the men are the problem. And prioritize black men. What the hell did she just say? No, take your damn 8-ball shaped head ass back over there. We ain't fooling with you. Don't think that you got your ass kicked by Trump and you worried they about to fire you at MSNBC. And now you think you gonna join hands, you want some black unity. Hell no, let us be what the hell we been. We're toxic masculinity, heifer. You want to see some toxic masculinity? I brought the radioactive materials with me tonight. No, we gonna stay toxic masculinity. We gonna stay patriarchy. We gonna stay misogynist over here. That's what we gonna do. Since you said that's what we are, we ain't changed a damn thing. A week ago, wasn't she accusing us with Michelle Obama, all this toxic masculinity? No, baby, keep that energy. Don't sit up here and try to switch it up now because the election didn't go the way you wanted it to, and now things about to get real. Keep that damn energy. Your paperwork is revoked. Your paperwork is dirty on the yard. You better PC up. You better get in protective custody. You better go ahead and let them put you in isolation. You can't walk the yard. Don't think you're going to be able to walk back over here, walk across the chow hall, and sit down with the real niggas. You can't do it. You're done. You and Candace Owens, the so-called liberal and so-called conservative, both of you have to keep your asses over there. We ain't got nothing for you. Nothing at all. We don't want to fool with you. We don't rock with you. We don't want to talk with you. We ain't going to do nothing. You ain't got nothing to do with us because we know damn well just as soon as the political winds change and you think you got the wind at your back again, you going to be right back to these black men ain't no good. No, just keep it the way it is now. I prefer it to be just the way it is now. The beef is on, Baldy. The beef is on. Damn peace, in the words of Tupac. Now clean it up a little bit. Damn peace. The beef is on. Keep that energy. We ain't got to piece up nothing. The beef is on. Doghouse rules. Ain't no rounds. The beef is on. No, we ain't gonna make up. Ain't nothing to make up. Ain't nothing to reconcile. Reconcile with you for what? What the hell do we gain by allowing you to apologize? And she hasn't apologized. What the hell do we gain by joining with you? You're weak. You've been defeated. You've been beaten. You took your best shot at destroying black men and it failed. What the hell do we gain from linking up with you now? What's in it for us? How do we benefit? We know how you benefit. You need a bailout. Now we gonna fall back. Let's see how much them white folk at NBC love you. Let's see how much them white folk at Comcast love you. Let's see how much they adore you now. Let's see how far you get without us, baby. Make it on your damn own. Leave us toxic masculinity folk out of this. Leave the toxic masculine out of this. Don't come begging up on us. Baby, get it how you live. Get it how you live. Don't come over here trying to cozy up to us. We don't take no damn backstabbing traitors over here. We don't do that. Y'all used to that from them backstabbing cultures you come from. Then you think you gonna do it over here. Y'all got one party in power in them places you come from. They sit up here and do everybody damn me dirty. And then the very next week, y'all cozying up with the people who was killing your damn kinfolk the week before. No, damn that. Let it just ride out. We don't want nothing from you except distance. You gonna have to deal with the rest of this on your own. And now she can hear the damn drum beats. They done let her know, oh, Trump coming back in office. We don't need all these black faces over here no more. She's worrying about how she gonna pay the rent and every damn thing else. Now she wants some black unity. Last week, it was black men go screw yourselves. This week, now she wants black unity. And she doesn't have anything to bargain with. Hell no. I don't want black unity. I want black empowerment. And we can't get empowered with you. No, we good on you. We good, we straight. And when them white folks come for your damn penny any last job, you can go ahead and start screaming about white toxic masculinity since you've only had a problem with black folk here. Go talk to them and see if they'll hear you. Go talk to them and see if they'll hear you. Don't come over here looking for black men's protection when you've been assaulting us up one side and down the damn other. Go kiss up to some of them white feminists and LGBT that you spent the last damn decade kissing ass on. Go call them. I suggest you stop burning your damn bridges to them because that's the only damn bridge you got. You don't have a bridge over here. I suggest you play nice with them white feminists over there. You don't have a bridge over here that you can use. You don't have one. Stop pretending to yourself and make-believing to yourself that you do. I'm putting you on notice tonight, heifer. Back the hell up off us. We don't know you. We don't know you. We don't fool with you. We don't rock with you. And we ain't trying to figure out a way to do it. You done. You're done. See if you better go kiss up to Zaddy. Don't sit up here and think you're going to ease your way over here. This is exactly what we did with Candace Owens when Ben Shapiro and the rest of them white supremacists started putting it on her little flat bony ass. And then she thought she was going to do some black unity. And y'all saw how we smacked that hand back. Heifer, back up off us. We don't fool with you. You own your own. You don't get to sit up here and backstab the people and backstab the soil. And then you gonna smooze up to us and cozy up to us. Hell no, back on up. Back on up off us. You on your own. I suggest you don't piss off too many of them white men, cause you on your damn own. You ain't got nothing over here. You ain't got nobody you can call on over here. You ain't got no backup over here. That's why you're sitting up here scared now. You should be. You should be. She worrying now because the rumors are already started. The rumors are circulating. They're talking about, Comcast talking about maybe selling MSNBC. She's sitting up here worrying about what's going to come next. She wants to know about a soft place to land. Baby, we ain't got nothing over here but a hard time and a hard way to go. You jump out that damn window, you slamming on that concrete. Ain't nowhere soft to land. Welcome back to the soil. You ain't got nobody over here to call for backup. You ain't got nothing to call on. You spend all this time burning your damn bridges. Ain't no way back over that. Stay your ass on over there. Maybe Roland Martin will hire you. Damn. You know niggas be working on volunteer basis over there, but maybe Roland Martin can go ahead and do something there. Maybe he'll pay you with chocolate chip donuts or something. Maybe you can go ahead and get something over there. You can be a temp worker over there. Maybe you can go ahead and do that. But don't think you're going to sit up here and smile your way back over here. We on some reconciliation. The hell we are. The hell we are. You stay over there with the black male-hating folk you've been riding with for the last decade. We have no use for you. You are on your own. You and MSNBC work that out. Maybe you can go check with the brass over there and see if you can get down with a freak off.
Nigga, please. And deal with it, nigga.
Go ahead and check and see if some of them need some freak off action. But don't worry about us, cause we ain't worrying about you. And that's real talk. However, what I'm saying might scare some of you. And I can see some scared folk there in the chat room. There's some scared folk who are worried. I can understand that right there. Some of you are very, very worried about that. Very, very worried. So you are going to have your opportunity to go ahead and give us a call. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and crank up the Zoom so we can go ahead and get you on in here. Some of y'all are scared and worried about what you're hearing tonight. It got you frazzled. It's got you worried. You like playing both sides. You go looking for whoever you think is going to win. And that's who you go kissing up to. Whoever look like they're going to win, I'm going to be over there. You ain't used to being around real soldiers who create their own victories. You ain't used to that. Used to selling your damn soul. So the stuff I'm talking about here worries you. See, it was a whole bunch of bed winching and bed bucking going on in 2020 when Biden going to win right here. We stood 10 toes down. Now we sitting pretty and all the damn folk who put in their lot with Biden is like, hell, what the hell we going to do? What we going to do? What you going to do is burn and suffer. That's what you're going to do. But we going to be good. Oh, we going to be good. I know you're hating it. It's like, damn, how y'all get away with that? I don't blame you for being worried. You got plenty to be worried about. Plenty to be worried about. So we're going to go ahead and take a brief commercial, non-commercial break. When I come back, I'm going to have you on the line. It will be there or be nowhere. That's what it's going to be. However, before we do that, I want to thank everyone, and I do mean everybody who has contributed to tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo here. Big shout out here to Harlem King 1. He's giving out memberships. The gift that keeps on giving. My man Cornell Sly is showing up in the chat room there. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. Andrea Roberson, as always, thank you very much, man. Cyberdown 100, Bruce Warren, Tom Slick, though. Everybody else there, Black Powder Podcast, giving out memberships. We appreciate that. My man, Mr. Rich Berg. I want to thank all of y'all for joining us here. We're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and hit the Zoom. Y'all know we cooking with napalm tonight, and I'm just getting started. This is the Black Channel.
Is your child struggling in school? Wish there was a way to get them the extra help they need? Mr. B, the teacher, is available for online tutoring on both tutor.com and varsitytutors.com platforms. He can help your child in a variety of subjects and is passionate about making learning fun and effective. And for even more learning tips, check out his book, Guidelines for the Successful Student, now available on Amazon.com. For more information or to reach him directly, go to MrBTheTeacher.com today.
The Honey Badger and the Mongoose is a children's story for the family of how a honey badger and mongoose fight an evil alliance of venomous cobra snake and hyenas that overhauls the balance of the savannah. The Big Five. The honey badger demands reparations. Will the Big Five give reparations? Can the evil alliance be stopped? You can find this book at Amazon, Audible, and Kindle.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slavery and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. The Zoom link is pinned at the top of the chat room there. So for those of you who've been told to call in or otherwise, you have to be on that. In the meantime, I want to go ahead and replay this for you all. I mean, folks are losing their minds out there. They realize that things done changed. 4 years is a long time to go trying to tread water. And folks are trying to figure out how they're going to make it for the next half of a decade. It's real easy to talk big ass talk when them checks are still coming in. But now they're looking at half a decade in the wilderness with the possibility of that extending to 8 years. Oh, folks is getting worried. Things done got real, and Joy Reid is out there. I want to show y'all. She's talking trash to white women. And for those of you who may have missed it, she's thinking she's going to build some bridges back over here with us.
Any of those invites to any black women, you know, I'm just against the Trump victory, maybe putting back on the P-word hats and doing that thing. I would just say probably don't send any of those invites to any black women, you know. I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not coming. I'm pretty sure black women have resigned from the Save America Coalition, Save Democracy Coalition, and definitely the Save the Democratic Party Coalition. I think that's probably not happening. I would just keep those invites maybe among your own friends, because I don't think they're coming. But yeah, I think black women are now on the Save Black Women, Prioritize Black Men, and prioritize Black communities, Black businesses, and that.
Yeah, y'all, Joy Reid is trying to kiss ass over here. Joy Reid done backed up over here to kiss ass over here on us now. And we're like, no, ma'am, you got white daddy's butt prints all over your lips. We ain't got no use for that. So old Joy Reid is sitting over there. She getting hella nervous. She realized what happened the last time Trump was in office. They started dumping niggas left and right. That's how she got her little old penny ass position. Now she's like, ooh, hell, that didn't go well at all. They can just replace you with a white woman and be done with it. Because here's the other problem, Joy. Where is the uproar going to come from? If MSNBC dumps you, it's not like it's going to be rioting and protesting and people canceling their subscriptions, and they cool. Hell, their ratings already dropped down. As soon as Trump won the election, their ratings fell off a cliff on MSNBC. So yeah, baby, it's like if you disappeared, would they even notice you were gone? Would they even notice you were gone? Badass spot for you to be in. Badass spot. So then no wonder she's trying to spin the block. She's trying to spin the block and tell her, hey, boo. You know, we don't prioritizing Black men. Well, that's real nice because Black men have had to prioritize the whole community and ourselves. We damn sure didn't have any help from you. You were attacking us for the last decade. Nah, we good. I prefer my turncoats and traitors to be on the other side of the fence, not over here with me. Let me go ahead and jump over here on Zoom. I got Corvo over here on Zoom. Corvo, I need you to go ahead and turn your camera and your microphone on for me here. I'll give you about 5 seconds to go ahead and get that taken care of. Then we got to go ahead and see about moving on. All right, Corvo, you're on Zoom. What's on your mind?
This entire event kind of goes back to a couple of points that you made. One more recently, much more recently, the other a little bit farther back. The more recent one is the last time we spoke, you had compared our interactions, because the damn sure ain't a relationship, our interactions with the Democratic Party to be akin to an abusive relationship. And based off of what I'm seeing from what I've seen from Joy Reid, that couldn't be more accurate, because this is exactly what an abuser does. They reach back to the person when they burn all the bridges with the people, when everybody else got tired of their funk ass. They try to reach back to the person that was most consistent with them. And in the case that was us, and it took us too long to be able to accept the fact of how trifling you really was, and now you think you're about to come back and reach back to us. It's almost it's an insult to your intelligence, for one. It'd be almost comical if there wasn't some trauma attached to that.
Well, I mean, but they have the luxury of doing that. Remember, the folks that they hire over there, MSNBC, all their pet Negroes, they intellectualize abuse and exploitation from white zaddy. Remember when Joe Biden got elected, I had a few of them calling me up then. By the way, folk calling me up, where the hell is Dominique at? Damn. Y'all, we ain't heard from Dominique since the Sunday before the election. Dominique, where you at? Where you at? All the Beckys done got him scared. Where you at, Dominique? Are they all blaming you for all the rest of us? Dominique, I don't know how you didn't get your people in line. No, Becky, you wasn't like that, dude. So y'all, I don't know what happened to Dominique. Dominique is MIA. We ain't heard. I told him to call in on election night. Is he still depressed? I don't know what happened. Dominique is MIA. But brother, they intellectualize those things. They sit around and have these damn frat parties and they do their drugs and they come up with all kinds of scientific explanations for why it is these folks are doing them and this, that, and the other. They want to be black when convenient. They only want to be black when this dominant society finishes playing around saying, yeah, we're done having fun. It's time to throw you in with the rest of them. Then all of a sudden they act like they got some sense. They're not stupid. They're just corrupt.
And that also touches, and since you said that, that also touches on something else that you brought up a few broadcasts ago about how just people in general, like how black people in general, they know that there's white supremacy here. There's there's racism here, but they think it'll be in their best interest to play dumb about it. And regardless of your lineage, you know that there's a thing called white supremacy. But you think if you play dumb with it long enough and try to disassociate yourself from certain lineages, such as ours, foundationals, that you will be all right. And then when you get that wake-up call, which is clearly this 2024 is ending on a grand wake-up call as far as I'm concerned. It's ending on a grand wake-up call for a lot of people, regardless of lineages. And so what ends up happening is when they get their wake-up call, all of a sudden they know how to say white supremacy. Now they know what white supremacy is all of a sudden. And then try to.
They've always known it was. The real thing is these networks and these white corporations hire one of the requisites of hiring them is you have to have animosity towards us. They're not hiring you if you're legitimately supportive of us. They know who they're getting. They know the psychos and the whack jobs. They know the crazy academics with their anti-black black male hatred and anti-black hatred, which is really comes down to because they don't really stick up for women either. If you're not LGBT, they don't really have any use for you either. So these networks know who they're hiring. Whoopi Goldberg was sitting there with damn E. Ted dancing in blackface. She gonna have a job for life. They know what the hell they got. They know what they got. They didn't choose her by accident. You got some real serious folk you could hire. They don't want you. They want known quantities that they know they're going to do. They're going to bug dance. They're going to kiss ass. They've been doing it for decades. And even if they tell themselves that they can cross back over here, their white bosses know, baby, ain't no crossing back. Sage Steele, Malika, what's her face? Baby, you can't cross back where? Where you going? Where you think you going? Your people ain't gonna take you back. You stuck with us. You gave all that away. You're done. And they know it. So when the rubber meets the road and when they run out of rope, they start fantasizing that they can make them come back over here because they have been a part of that abusive apparatus as the house niggas. They've been used to the idea that they can abuse us too, and they can just go ahead and skate for it. Now they getting the damn wake-up call. It's like, yeah, we good on that. No, you, Stephen A. Smith, Candace Owens, all of y'all stay over there. We make no distinction between the ass kissers on the left or the right. All of you stay, since white supremacy, liberal and conservative are just wings on the same bird. We taking the whole damn bird out. I'll let you have the last word.
Well, the only thing I really have to say at this point is Trump isn't even in the office yet. And that's not even what I'm enthusiastic to see. I'm enthusiastic to see how the month of December ends at this point, because there's a whole lot of, because, you clearly see the circling firing squad going on with the Democrats. They're all going in on each other. So you got those trying to double down on, such as Roland, trying to double down on the fallacies that we've been calling out, and then you got Joy Reid trying to backpedal. So I'm wondering, I'm just trying to see, is there going to be more doubling down or more backpedaling, and how much of each is going to happen at this point? That's just what I'm enthusiastic to see for the end of 2024.
Well, I mean, look, the way it's going to go down is they're going to vent, they're going to yell. Joy Reid was there when they did the last purge at MSNBC. She was there. She was the only one besides Al Sharpton who didn't get shown the door. And her response then was to kiss ass in a major way. So what's going to happen, brother? I'm thinking from the way she's acting now, she done got the word they're going to cut them. CNN is cutting hundreds of people. MSNBC's ratings dive has been precipitous. So she's been hearing rumblings that she's getting ready to go. That's what's going on now. So that's why she's deciding to get a little buck and let it all hang out, because obviously she's gotten word that if they do start cutting, she's going to be first on the block. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen is she's going to, in her mind, by going extra pro-black, she's going to be sitting up here telling herself, oh, well, that'll be her excuse if they get rid of her. And it's really like, baby, it would be worth it for them to go ahead and just pay you $5-10 million to get on. So these are games they play with themselves. she really needs to think about what's going to happen next, because you have not named one black person who got cut from MSNBC who had anything happening after that. Name one. Just one. That's a real thing to keep in mind. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. In the chat room, PCH Rides has 2 minutes to be on Zoom. Let's make sure no more chatting in the chat room. If you got anything else to say, you can go ahead and say that on Zoom. Shout out here to Nancy King here on the Super Chat. Thank you very much, Nancy. We appreciate your support. My man, Mr. Joseph, Mr. Warren, Mark B, and everybody else there, thank you very much for your support here as well. Yeah, folks, people are upset. People are angry. They're losing their minds over there. They don't know what to do. It's a full-scale crisis that they're having. Folks are trying to figure out how to get in where they fit in. They're already getting the word the white zaddy is going to dump a bunch of them from the cable network, so they're trying to figure out a safe place to land. It's going to be hard. You got a track record this mile long. We done flew kites everywhere else, and it's not really going to work for you. It's not really going to work for you. This is not going to go nearly as easy as you tell yourself. Okay, on Zoom there, Juicy Justice, let me go ahead and get you to make sure we got everything turned on. That image you got behind you, go ahead and turn all that off. Nobody else sees you except me. Turn it off. You got you looking real crazy and fuzzy up here, so I'm going to give you 5 seconds to go ahead and fix that, but turn all that off. We got a bunch of stuff going on there. It's not looking so great. I'll go ahead and give you a few moments here and go ahead and get that taken care of, but yeah, all the special effects, we don't really need all that going on. Let me go ahead and put you back on the waiting room there so you can go ahead and get that straightened out. Yeah, folks, we still doing postmortems on them here, right here. A whole bunch of folks out there. It's nutty, it's crazy. People trying to hold on to their jobs. I'm just telling you, it's an epidemic of that right now. They're trying to hold on to their jobs. They're trying to hold on to some kind of position. Let me go ahead and remind you, this one of Kamala Harris's communications people here and whatnot is saying that he thinks Joe Biden should resign now. Since Kamala Harris lost the election, Joe Biden should go ahead and resign now so that Kamala Harris can become president. No, I'm serious.
Simmons, a former comms director for Vice President Harris. Watch this.
Joe Biden has been a phenomenal president. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. There's one promise left that he could fulfill, being a transitional figure. He could resign the presidency in the next 30 days, make Kamala Harris the president of the United States.
Whoa.
It would absolve her from being able to from having to oversee the January 6th transition, right, of her own defeat. And it would make sure that it would dominate the news at a point where Democrats have to learn drama and transparency and doing things that the public want to see is the time. This is the moment for us to change the entire perspective of how Democrats
Okay, this
operate.
has now jumped from an internet meme to a Sunday morning show.
Jamal's out here right now.
Congratulations.
Season of House of Cards.
Similarly, the scholar Norman Ornstein wrote on X that he was warming to the idea of Biden resigning early so Harris can be queen for a day. I have a lot to say about all of that, but first, let's reflect. Joe.
Folks, this is a real thing. The folks who had a job under Kamala Harris are literally like, you know what, Joe Biden, if you resign now, she can still become president. So she couldn't win enough votes to become president. But hey, Joe Biden, you know, you're already on your ass. You're already on the way out. Why don't you go ahead and resign so she can be president now? Do you think that people this incompetent and this unbalanced should be allowed to make any type of decisions? But these are the strategists that Kamala Harris had on her squad. And then you're wondering why she lost. You're wondering how she lost. They're literally like, okay, she couldn't win enough votes. Hey, Joe, you know, if you resign as president now, she can go ahead and have that. Really? Do you realize how desperate this is? Well, even if the country didn't want her, even if she lost the popular vote, you know, you can still, hey, Joe Biden, you can make her president. People, this is really where we at tonight. This is really where they are tonight. He's like, hey, I'm trying to keep a job for another 60 days. If she become president, I got to stick around. Yeah, and this is why we doing stuff on our own. This is why we handling it on our own. This is why we got to do it like this. So if you thought that anybody over there on Kamala's side, the Democrat side, would get more competent, you were wrong. All right, we have a Juicy Justice here back on Zoom. Go ahead and turn your speakers off for me.
Hey, brother.
All right, brother, what's on your mind?
Not too much, man. Besides just being so impressed by the family out there in America, man, the Black family. I just wanted to say that I appreciate y'all and y'all movement, and that I am super impressed at the way y'all handled this election coming up, or the one that just passed, I'm sorry there, because it really stamps how a lot of us around the globe as Black people really should be moving in unison. It really sets a precedence. So I don't want to be on here too much, brother. I just want to salute you and all the other Black media out there and let you know that we're riding with you, man. I'm from Canada, Black dude, Juice Justice. I'm here. I appreciate y'all.
All right, which part of Canada? Toronto?
I'm in Toronto, brother.
Okay, there you go. But nowadays, everybody's going to Toronto. It's a pretty good bet you in Toronto. So, all right, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we're setting the standard here. We're showing folks that, by the way, you can be revolutionary right here. Folks told us it wasn't going to happen. What do y'all think you're going to accomplish staying home? People, please understand, Kamala Harris was about 150,000 votes. That would have gotten her the White House, about 150,000 votes. Just that simple, 150,000. Folks trying to talk about the Latino vote. I just showed you those were Latinos in Texas. Texas was already for Trump, so that wasn't going to do it. That wasn't going to do it. Whole bunch of folks out there wishing they can get away from the reality of it. No, this is the reality of it. We've been over the math. For those of you who didn't see my program last week about how losing the Black vote cost Kamala Harris the election, I go over the numbers. I go over the data. When you take a look at the states that she won and lost, those were not states that the Latino vote swung anything. The Latino vote didn't swing nothing in Georgia. The Latino vote didn't swing anything in Pennsylvania. The Latino vote didn't swing anything in Michigan. The Latino vote didn't swing anything in Wisconsin. To all the brain dead ADHD crack babies wishing that they can argue, y'all didn't make none of that. The Latino vote didn't swing anything in Georgia. Go ahead and put your Biden crack pipes down for that one. You can't smoke enough crack to go ahead and get that to reality. The Latino vote didn't swing nothing in those places. The Black vote did. Simple as that. The Asian vote didn't pull it out in 2020. The Latino vote didn't swing nothing in Georgia. The Latino vote showed up in the same places you've always seen. Texas, Florida, New York. But it was just the real strongholds they really talk about. That's where your Latino votes showed up at. Not the swing states she needed. You haven't heard one statistician or anybody there talking about the Latino vote in Georgia. Because that wasn't it. I know you're desperate for an alternative explanation. Facts are destructively terrible things to a warped mind. That wasn't doing it. The states that she needed, that wasn't doing it. The states that she needed to win that election, to replicate the previous wins by Biden, that didn't make it happen. No, Arizona wasn't why she lost. Neither was New Mexico. If she could have gotten Pennsylvania and Georgia, that's a wrap. So, no, not Arizona and New Mexico. No. The Latino vote is in the same places it's always been. There's just more of them in the places they always been. The states that she needed, that wasn't a factor. That wasn't a factor. Yeah, where they were the states he was already going to carry. The states there really wasn't no fight over. The ones that she needed, the ones that they've been doing well in, oh hell. It wasn't the Latino vote that kept you from getting it. We know what I went over the numbers. She lost millions of votes. 15 million people less than 2020? Yeah, but the real thing is 100,000 here and 100,000 there in places you had before. Yikes. 100,000 here, 100,000 before. That's the thing that crushes you. That's the thing that did them in. And please remember, Barack Obama carried North Carolina. Remember? By the way, in case anybody is wondering, Trump has been ruling North Carolina, but remember, Barack Obama had the black vote behind him 10 toes. He was the dominating North Carolina. For those of you who don't remember, you don't research, you're not old enough or whatever, in case I need to remind you, Barack Obama carried North Carolina. Donald Trump came and snatched that after him. Barack Obama had that held down. They were hoping that Kamala Harris could replicate that. How did Obama get North Carolina? The black vote, not the Hispanic vote, the black vote. So you can listen to some jackass who has no information telling you, well, Trump got more Hispanic voters. We have an electoral college system. Where were those Hispanic voters located? Were they located in the swing states that Obama carried? No, they weren't. That's the reason why. They were a non-factor. They're just doubled up and tripled up in the places they've always been. But the places she needed them, that was not a factor. So you can be upset and angry and you wish it wasn't the black vote. I want you to understand something. There's a lot of black folk out there who hate hearing this. They hate hearing that the black vote is a factor because they hate hearing that we have any influence. They would like it a whole lot better if black folk had no influence at all. They want to give the credit for it to someone else, somewhere else. They are scared of the idea that we actually have influence and actually make decisions that matter. I need y'all to understand that. There's a whole bunch of black folk out there who like the idea of a weak black vote. Usually cornball ass outcast niggas who don't have any credibility or any standing or any status among us. So they would like to see us neutralized because he don't get nothing. They're outcasts, they're oddballs, they've always been on the outside looking in. So they see us losing as a good thing for them. They don't like to see us winning because they're like, well, hell, y'all ain't really acknowledging me and letting me run things. So they would love to see us weak. They don't want to hear us influential. They hate that. It bothers them. Childhood trauma, teenage trauma, whatever the hell it is. So just understand these little oddball ass outcast niggas, there's a good segment of them, they like that. The president, we dealt with this in 2020, remember? The folks calling in, black males calling me up, defending Joe Biden in the prison industrial complex. You had them calling me up, defending Joe Biden and the prison industrial complex. Yeah, because you're weak and you're inconsequential. Well, let me see. I bet you I'll help white daddy take y'all down. I want you to understand that that's the 21st century plantation mindset. They want us to be weak. They wish we were weak. They pray that we could be weak because they are inconsequential among us. So anything that is, quote, bad for us, oh, they cool with that? They're cool with that? They like that idea. Anything that weakens you all. If I can't get nothing, damn all of you. That's real talk. Let me go ahead and get Tony up here on Zoom. Let me see if I can go ahead and get Tony up here on Zoom. Tony, go ahead and turn on your camera microphone for me. All right, Tony, what's on your mind?
What's going on, Uncle Jay? Man, excellent broadcast as always. You always got your foot on the necks. I was surprised that you didn't mention that, a lot of the Democrats and a lot of the white media, they're throwing around trying to get Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor to retire so they can install Kamala in that position.
I mean, like I say, they just are doing a full-blown wig out, crash out right now. They're just saying crazy stuff. Justice Sotomayor is offended to hear anything like this. This woman is offended. How the hell you gonna make Kamala Harris's loss her problem? She is a Supreme Court justice. She has been appointed. She serves for life. How the hell is your candidate's inability to carry her campaign, inability to answer a question, unwillingness to answer a question, how the hell is that suddenly her burden? She done spent all this damn time to be the, quote, first Hispanic on the Supreme Court. So she gonna drop it off so y'all can feel better, so y'all can give out consolation prizes? You're crazy as hell. So Sonia Sotomayor, I'm telling you right now, she's number one, offended, number two, laughing her ass off. And you think she's gonna step down so that you all can sit up here with your crybaby ass fragile feelings. We need to save Kamala Harris's feelings. No, Kamala Harris should have run a better race. She should have been a better candidate. And if she wasn't going to run it right, she shouldn't have run at all. I'll be damned, brother. How the hell would you feel? You on the Supreme Court and somebody tell you need to step down so that this candidate who lost feels better about not winning the presidency? How is that suddenly Tony's problem?
Exactly. And it's crazy, too, because they keep mentioning, bringing up her disability, which is basically diabetes, as a reason why she should step down from the Supreme Court. And she hasn't had any issues since she's been up there with her diabetes. She looks like she's been managing everything pretty well with that. And it's just wild to me that they're trying to install this woman. They're trying everything in the book to get this woman to be in some type of position.
I posted on Twitter. They talking about Kamala for governor of California. I'm just like, do y'all realize how cringe this looks? Y'all are just trying anything. Okay, she can't win president. Next up, dog catcher. It's just, this is a bad sign. This is what happened to Jill Stein. This is what happens to other candidates. Brother, if you lose president, now you're looking for governor. I'm like, okay, that's a hell of a downgrade. And who was asking for her to be governor?
Exactly.
Who's asking specifically for Kamala Harris to be on the Supreme Court? So y'all are just doing this, pulling stuff out your ears for consolation prizes. That's why it can't work. If it comes from the grassroots, it can work. Nobody in California was like, you know what? We really want Kamala to be governor. Too bad she running for president. If she would have made a good governor, she would have run for governor. If she thought she actually could have won it, she wouldn't have gone from attorney general to senator. She went from that senator because governor wasn't in the cards.
Exactly.
And if you send her back, it's not going to be in the cards now. Y'all are just intellectually masturbating. No, hang it the hell up. This is what happens when a bunch of over-entitled crybabies get into politics. They think they have a right to having everything they want to, and that's not how you make things change. You make change by having the right ideas and earning it. This type of immaturity is the reason they didn't win.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, I'm going to lay my plane on that, Uncle Jay. I appreciate you as always.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, like I say, Sonia Sotomayor need to step down, so Kamala. Joe Biden need to step down, so Kamala. I'm just like, okay, all the K-Hive people, man, look here, the trip is over. It's over. She paid Oprah Winfrey $1 million. She had to go pay all these celebrities to sit up here and host these events because she couldn't get folk to show up on her damn own. When the campaign records finally come out, because I was wondering why the hell it was that she waited until the last minute. She waited till the last minute to bring out Beyonce and them. I'm like, you should have done that over the summer. But I've been thinking, did she do that so that she could hold off as long as possible about disclosing whether or not she had to pay any of these people? So she wanted to hold off until the records didn't have to be reported until after the election. So yeah, man, like I said, Joe Biden needs to step down so Kamala Harris can be president. Sonia Sotomayor needs to step down so Kamala can be Supreme Court justice. Gavin Newsom needs to step down so Kamala can... Man, this is why you clowns couldn't make it. You couldn't make it. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen for you. And you all are the reason that your candidate couldn't make it. Team reflects leadership. All right, we got Daryl here on Zoom. Daryl, what's on your mind? Oh, Daryl is looking at the camera with that newfangled technology look. Oh, Daryl, where's your granddaughter? Y'all, where's Daryl's granddaughter when he needs her? Oh, y'all, Daryl is looking at the camera. The way that I look at the questions on some of them old board games from Milton Bradley's. What is this? All right, Daryl, I can give you 5 more seconds, brother. I see you. If you speak, you can be heard. Obviously, he's not hearing us. So, Daryl, I don't know what to do, y'all. He got 2 sets of glasses on, too. It's just one on his eyes and one on his head. So, Daryl got a lot going on over there. I can't show y'all, but Daryl got a lot going on. I'm going to say that. It's been a while since I've seen somebody wearing glasses on their eyes and then sunshades on their forehead. So, Daryl got a lot going on.
How you doing, Jason?
Okay, Daryl, I was sitting over here wisecracking for a minute. You better be glad I had material because I'm like, I was getting ready to drop you, but I'm like, yeah, this nigga got glasses on his eyes and on his forehead, so he's ready for the club and the library in the same night. What's on your mind, Daryl?
Well, first off, thank you, Jason, for having me on tonight. I appreciate that, man, and thank you for everything that you do and bring to the black media. It's unbelievable. You, Tariq Nasheed.
Oh, hell.
The situation, everybody's getting a smackdown. As you preached, you just literally told us over the last 10 to 12 years that this was coming. And now that it's here, people they're trying to get smacked right. They're trying to jump on board with us, but that's not going to happen. And you also said that the thinning out of the herd, that is happening. And the thing that matters is that right now, I've seen people act stupid the other day, talk about they're leaving the country, they're doing this and doing that. So you should have done that 4 years ago, if that's the case, with all the stuff that was going on with the Biden administration.
Yeah, I mean, this type of emotional tantrums and emotional outbursts, you're not a disciplined group. If this is your character, no wonder you can't win. You can't win wars and battles when you are this emotionally unhinged. You got to be disciplined. You got to be focused. You got to have one goal and all your efforts towards that. Now what you're telling us is you weren't trying to win Kamala the presidency. You were just trying to win her something. Well, no wonder you didn't win. Trump wasn't trying to win dog catcher or governor. He like, I'm going back to the White House, hell or high water. No wonder at this point right now, it becomes mathematics who's going to win. Now this is just math. One of you is focused and the other one don't even know what the hell they're doing. I'll let you have the last word.
Well, thank you very much, Jason. On that note, the bottom line is that now that this has been done and said and done, it's moving forward right now. And all we did was just sit tight, be quiet. And like you said, sometimes being quiet is the best messages you can send to anybody. You ain't got to open your mouth and be loud. We already done that. All we got to do now is just wait for the next thing, which is cut the check.
We got a game plan. Too bad they didn't. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Like I say, a whole bunch of folks have been lamenting about the couch. Van Jones, MSNBC, a bunch of them over there complaining, and they voted for the couch. They voted for the couch. They were pretending it didn't exist at first. Then by the time they started acknowledging, no, it's too damn late now. Too damn late now. Just get ready to take these lumps. That's all that's going to be. All right, we got Tell It Like It Is on Zoom. What's on your mind, brother?
Yeah, so I wanted to tap in. I wasn't going to tap in at first, but when I heard you speaking about how they can't stand the fact that we have so much influence. You remember back in 2020 when after Joe Biden got elected, Eva Longoria, I believe it was. She was talking about how it was the Hispanics that put him over the top, and then it was that one Asian politician. I forgot his name, out of New York, I believe.
Andrew Yang. He was talking about down there in Georgia. I debunked that when it happened too.
Exactly, and then Eva Longoria was on that same trash talk. And then it's like, oh, okay. So now they do everything they can to strip us of what power we actually do have. And so we had to show them this year, and they're doing it again. They want to say it's us, but they're trying to pseudo blame other people and this, that, and the other. And my thing is this: when I hear people talk about oh, well, it was a white woman vote and this, that, and the other. Well, Trump already had that in the bag. It had nothing to do with them. You see what I mean? And he already had them in the bag. He had, just like he had them in the bag the last election. And the thing is, they just don't want to say anything about it because they don't say anything about the white women because they know, oh, okay, well, ain't really much you could say to them without getting clapped back at.
Well,
So,
I mean, it's not so much that. It's because the reality is they don't have as much influence over there as they want to because what we've been saying over here is not, it's not some wild-eyed theory. This is political and social fact. Right. Democrat and Republican are jackets that white society puts on and takes off like a jacket. Conservative, liberal, Democrat, Republican. These are labels that are completely interchangeable. One year, these families are voting Republican. The next year, they're voting Democrat. And that's the way it's always been. They created these parties for them, by them. We did not. That's why our vote has always been incredibly consistent on one side. The rest of these people sway one way or the other slightly from election to election. We've been the only block that votes all in on one side. So going at white women doesn't help because by the next election, they'll be back where they was. Going at Latinos isn't going to help because by the next election, they'll go back where they were. The thing that has frightened them is a black vote that has always been, for the most part, monolithic and solid on one side. They have seen a major shift in a new direction when they least calculated or predicted it would happen. That's the one that scares them. So they're giving lip service to white women and Latinos right now. What comes next is what Joy Reid trying to do and Roland. They're going to try to circle the wagons. They're going to try to convince folks they can get us back in line. Well, now that the election is over, when that doesn't happen, then you're going to see them start going in on us again. Because when they realize this is not a fluke, this is the new normal, that's what we're going to be seeing. So right now they're wringing their hands. It's only now that they're starting to rally the troops and circle the wagons, and now they're going to see we're not going to move. Then it's going to be, y'all stupid niggas over there, y'all need to, y'all listen to all this. Yeah, when y'all start turning MAGA, that's what you're going to be seeing here next. So they're nibbling around the edges at these things that they know don't really matter. It gets headlines or whatever. Brother, they've already shown they're going to get back over here to us. They're going to circle back over here and try to snap us back in line. It's going to be a whole new conversation this time. And here's the crazy part. All the rest of them crashed all the way out. They already did it. D.L. Hughley, Steve Harvey, Shannon Sharp, Roland Martin, brother, they already went all in. They already went 10 toes down all in. That and lost? Oh no. So very clearly we don't have to worry about what they think or anything anymore. They already showed their lack of influence. They already sent out their big guns and they failed. Yeah, when the conversation comes back around, they're going to have a conversation with somebody other than themselves. So they're trying to stall from doing that as long as they can. Because Roland knows why they lost. He has nothing to offer. That's why he's saying, well, y'all going to get what you deserve. You know what you're not saying, Roland? You're not saying you can stop us. I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah, everything you said was spot on. And that's kind of what I was thinking. But I was also looking at too. It's like, okay, you guys, all right, you guys want to try to act like we don't have the power that we do have and we can't sway the elections the way we've been doing it. So here's the thing. You guys I've heard rumblings about them possibly running Ocasio-Cortez as president because they know Gavin Newsom, we're waiting on him. So we're waiting on him in the alley with a bat, you know what I mean? So if they run Ocasio-Cortez, understood, we already picked her apart a long time ago. So guess what? If you don't want to acknowledge the power we have now, we have no problem with showing you it's not a fluke in 2028 neither.
All I can say, brother, is all of this flailing and flinging random names at the damn wall, all this looks like is panic. The Republicans were united in 2020 after Trump lost. So much so they stormed the damn Capitol, yanking Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's name out of a hat when ain't nobody checking for her. All this makes you look as imbalanced and desperate. You don't look disciplined. Y'all are just saying stuff and throwing things at the wall. This is what disorganized looks like. It looks like this. And if you're even mentioning her damn name, a woman who has the potential to win exactly 2 states, she's not more popular than she was before. She's popular in that little old New York bubble. The woman can't win nothing outside of it. And as long as Nancy Pelosi's alive, she ain't gonna win nothing outside of it. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Nancy Pelosi gonna make sure that Alexandria ain't gonna win the damn thing. Nancy like, I'm 84 years old and damn it, I'll be 94 before you win nothing. If it's the last damn thing I do, you ain't getting the damn thing. Nancy ain't letting nothing happen. Nobody is checking for Alexandria. Nobody. Except a bunch of folk on YouTube and Twitter. The same folk who couldn't get Kamala Harris over the finish line are now floating Alexandria's name. Alexandria better tell them shut the hell up. Alexandria needs to send them all an email. If y'all gonna stop saying my name, I'm trying to get reelected. All right, we got MB here on Zoom. MB, what's on your mind?
Hey, Jason, thanks for having me on, man. And yo, man, I'm trying to get this audio straight here. All right, yeah, but anyway, this was great. This is great stuff, man. I'm over here thinking of let me do this real quick. Hold on here. My audio's being.
All right, y'all. MB is having technical difficulties, so I'm going to give him a chance to call the Best Buy people and see if Geek Squad can go ahead and get him straightened out here. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Jay here on Zoom. Let me get Jay up on Zoom here. All right, Jay is trying to get his audio connected for us here tonight. We'll see if we can go ahead and get Jay up here on Zoom. All right, Jay, what's on your mind?
Yeah, so I was watching the program earlier, I had to step out, and you showed a illegal immigrant that was kind of not worried about being deported. But you got to remember, in 2020, Trump promised mass deportations then, and he didn't do it. So there's really no reason for the guy to be worried about it. If he already said that and he didn't do it. So I don't know why people are confused about that. I think that what Trump does is, I don't think Trump supporters really have a problem with the illegals here. Remember, Obama actually deported more people in his last term than Trump did in his term. So it's really just about. I mean,
well, we say deported, but did he deport more people than came in? Because until you do that, deportation is a word without a meaning. So you can say that number. He deported more people. Okay, did he deport more than snuck in during his administration? Because if 10 snuck in and 1 was deported, okay, what is that?
Yeah, I see your point. I just don't think Trump is actually going to do it. I think that's basically, I don't think his supporters really have a problem with illegals here as long as they stay in their place. In terms of, I think what Trump does is he just says things to make white people feel good about themselves and feel superior. And that's really all that's really necessary. And he doesn't actually have to follow through on the stuff that he says. And I don't think he's going to do it this time.
Okay, is there anything else other than that you think he's not going to follow through on?
Well, you just look at his first term. I think it's just going to be an extension of that. He's going to put a bunch of right-wing judges.
Okay, brother, let me try this again. So other than that, what else do you think he's not going to follow through on?
I think he'll follow through on everything else, but
okay, so you think he's going to follow through on everything else except deporting illegals?
Because he didn't do it. He could have done it in his first term. He had Senate, Congress, and
okay. Did you see the illegal border crossing numbers during his presidency?
I have to check that.
Okay, short answer, all-time low.
Okay.
So that's not in dispute, is it?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so that was an all-time low. So he said he was going to do that.
Yeah, but why didn't he do the mass deportations?
Okay, well, I'm saying is that you're saying he wasn't going to do anything. Well, he did that. So that's not in question. He, first of all, stopped the bleeding. So first thing he did was a major crackdown on illegal crossings. He did that.
Okay.
However, we got some issues here, brother. I got some issues. I got to ask you, where are your folk from?
Oh, no, I'm
No, you don't even try that.
I'm as FBA as you can get.
Don't even try that, brother. Don't even try that. That's no.
My
Let's
dad
not
actually
do that.
from not too far from where you're from.
No, brother, no. You looking like you South African here. Let's come on now.
My paperwork is as good as it gets.
Let's not do that. No,
we can do that. We can do that as long as you want to.
Everything you done said tonight is suspect, brother. You zeroed in on only one issue. There's a number of other things.
I wanted to actually.
There are another number of other things you could have named. You could have named about tax cuts. You could have named about foreign affairs. There's a number of different other things you could have named. You only are interested or concerned about just that one, even though he did do something about that, but you're trying to reassure yourself or us that that's not an issue. I'm like, oh, that's hella suspect, man.
No, because I actually want him to do it. I think that it's a bunch of BS. I think he's just not. I think what matters to him are his white corporate bosses, and just basically, if he wanted to do that, he could just basically seize all these businesses that are hiring them.
Okay, but brother, if he wasn't doing anything about them, please keep in mind, if that wasn't the case, then was the first thing Biden had to do when he came into office was issue a bunch of executive orders blocking what Trump had already done. If Trump was the same as everybody else, then why did Biden have to give a bunch of executive orders, and why did the numbers spike after Biden got in if what Trump was doing was not effective?
Here's the difference, Jason.
Wait. Let's deal with that question first, and then you can rant. If that was the case, that Trump was not effective at what he was doing, then why was it the first thing Biden did the first week he was in office was pass a bunch of executive orders trying to block what Trump was already doing? If what Trump was doing wasn't effective, why was that necessary?
No, I'll grant you that.
Okay, so thank you. So the first thing is deportation is great, and that needs to take place as well. And it did take place under Trump. But by the way, the first order of business is stop the bleeding. So if you leave the borders as open as they are, it's a lot harder to go track people down than it is to stop them from getting in the first place. And furthermore, when you bolster the border, the ones you do kick out, they're not going to be as easy for them to get back in. So first of all, stop the bleeding. That makes the most sense. There's nobody who can argue that he didn't do that. That's the whole reason he got reelected, because everybody knows the difference between his ability to stop the bleeding when he was in office versus what Biden and Harris did, which was to take the Band-Aid off and to cut people in 5 more places. So that's not an issue there. Now, as far as the other folks are involved, first of all, you're already seeing the effect of it. There's the first thing. You're already seeing fewer people coming over. You're already seeing folk talking about, ooh, we're going to get deported. You're already seeing panic in that regard. And he isn't even in office yet. The president of Mexico, they're already talking about reinstating Remain in Mexico now. He's not even elected yet. And the president of Mexico is already starting to back off of some of that slick talk he was doing. And the man's not even in the White House yet. Oh, you didn't know about that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, take a few moments tonight and go check Google and go check that out so you can see what's going on there. But yeah, things like that, because the most important thing is stop the bleeding, and then you go chase people down. An economic environment that is not so inviting. And the other thing is you didn't have some of the issues before that you had before. You've got, with the sanctuary cities thing, Trump didn't say we need to have laws for that. It'll be interesting to see what they do, because with the folk he's put to the forefront, they ain't really backing off of that. They're not really backing off of that. So yeah, if you get some of that stuff taken care of at the federal level, or is just some new rules in place for that, that could go a long way. Now, can you overhaul the whole thing? I don't think anybody's going to be able to do that. That's something that would take years. Obviously, the Democrats are going to try to stall around as long as they can on that regard. You get into some stickier situations, particularly where the children are concerned, because once you have kids who were born over here, technically speaking, they're legal. That one in particular is a big issue. So there are some other things that do cause some problems. That's why you don't let these things happen in the first place. And that's why you don't allow criminal presidents and vice presidents to do this kind of stuff in the first place. Yeah, because that can make issues. Are you going to be able to deport all 20 million? No, that's scientifically, mathematically not feasible. Nobody said that was the case. Can you deport 5 or 6 million? Hell yeah, you can. You sure can. Absolutely you can. Especially if you get with Texas and Florida and places like that. And it's like, okay, we're going to do something serious about that. Yeah. Now, I've always made the point, well, yeah, if you really want to deal with these things, you need to go arrest these white folk who are employing them. Absolutely. Is that going to occur? No. Because this is the game that white society plays in that regard. They're trying to fix the problem without adversely affecting their economic foundation. So they're playing this game where they try to coerce each other into that as opposed to do a real crackdown on it. So the game that they're playing is we're going to bolster the border, make it harder for them to physically get in, and then when we deport them, they won't be able to physically get in, and this will eventually knuckle under the white folk who are breaking code, employing them, that they're going to have to go through proper channels to do it. So that's the game that's at play there. Where this differs from what you're saying is the idea they're not going to do anything at all. So that's not the case. No, they do want changes. They actually do, because this does affect them. There are just some folk, like for white middle class and lower class, those are the ones who want to deal with that. The problem is the folks that control the economy, like up there in Ohio. The white folk in Ohio are up in arms about all those Haitians up there. Problem. The two biggest employers in town are the ones that are happy about the Haitians being there. And what have we learned as black people in America? Dr. Claude Anderson taught us whoever controls the economy is going to control the politics. So you and me talk about politics every 4 years. The biggest employer in Ohio is sitting up here talking to the mayor and the city council about why he needs to keep all those illegals. He's talking to them every week. That's the difference. So that's the real game that's going on there. It's not that they're not concerned about it, and it's not that they don't want it. It's that you got this real balancing act going on between those who control the economy and those of you affected by what they're doing. And are you going to criminalize what these folk are doing at the local level? But even then, that's going to be hard to do because you've had a number of sheriffs, in places like the Carolinas, talking about they're not going to enforce that. To the point that that's what's going on there. They're having to get, the legislature's having to crack down on the governor about that. So it isn't that they don't want it, it's that the folks who actually have the money, they're the ones making the rules. And they're like, hey, we're overriding the rest of you. So do yourself a favor. Go ahead and check on Google on that. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Check on that and see what that is. I don't know, y'all. It's suspect here. It's suspect. It's suspect here, folks. Let me go ahead and see if I can get solutions here on Zoom. Let's go ahead and get solutions here on Zoom. We'll go ahead and give you another minute to get here on Zoom. Then we're going to go ahead and move on. So Solutions might have stepped away from their phone and whatnot. What they say, my baby mama's on the other line. Let me give Solutions 5 seconds here. Solution, I need you to go ahead and turn the camera microphone on for me here. Just make sure we got that all straightened out. I'll give you 5 seconds, then we got to go ahead and move on. All right, Solutions, you're on Zoom. What's on your mind? Okay, you do not have your microphone on. Check and see. Oh, we got another person.
Can you hear me now?
All right, that's better. What's on your mind?
I just want to say this. Am I coming through clear? I want to say this. When it comes to these Roland Martin figures, when it comes to these Benjamin Dixons and these other Democratic shields, I think they got what they wanted to get, which is they got to the bag. When it comes to the Kamala Harris campaign, she outspent Donald Trump. When these people, Roland Martin, they wanted the bag pretty much. So as long as Kamala Harris was spending with them, they didn't care if she won or lost. That wasn't the goal of these people. The goal of these people was just to get as much money as they can to pretty much be succubus.
Untrue.
You don't think so?
No. I mean, no. Look, Roland Martin has been jockeying for a White House press secretary position now since Obama. It's been nakedly obvious. He's been campaigning for a White House press secretary job. He's been trying to show them that he's the best speaker, the best spokesperson. He can make the best arguments. He's the best communicator. He's going to be the best spokesperson for them. So, I mean, he was damn near saying it during Obama's second term that he thought he'd be the best candidate for doing that. So he is very much one of that position, if for nothing else. And so that would be a major mark on his resume to say that Roland Martin, former White House press secretary. So think about those credentials, especially after he got kicked off of cable television. So he very much does want that. It's proven to be elusive, but he wants it. That so much so that he conspired with Donna Brazile to get the questions to Hillary Clinton. You can see what that was going on there. Okay, Hillary, if I help y'all get in the White House, now you owe me. Because if Hillary had won, she was part of the conspiracy. If she had won, she was part of the conspiracy. So, brother, they did want concrete tangibles. They do want the Democrats to win because if the Democrats win, they feel you owe them something. Which has been what Roland Martin was doing for the last 4 years. Please remember, he was crying like a hoe in 2020 because Kamala Harris wouldn't come on this program, remember? So he was boosting the Democrats, and neither Biden nor Kamala Harris talked to him. What do you know? 4 years later, Roland Martin is sitting there and finally got the administration to acknowledge his existence. Not once, but twice. Once in New Orleans, Essence Festival. Kamala Harris was there. And then again, she actually came and talked to him for about 5 minutes. So, no, brother, he wanted her to win so that she would owe him something.
So, in your opinion, because I want to talk about something else too as well. But in your opinion, do you think that most of these people, David Pakman, do you think about Benjamin Dixon? You don't think that they wanted just to get to the bag? They didn't really care about the Democrats winning. I think, in my opinion, and my what I see and what I believe right now is that they care more about getting to the bag more than they cared about the actual Democrats winning, because even if the Democrats lost, they would be able to do this this corn that we see right now, which is Trump is bad. We have hope that people who voted for Trump now regretting it, and we see that even Roland Martin himself is pushing that. I do have another thing I want to talk to you about, but I just want to ask that question first. That these people have something now to sell to their audience.
Well, yes, certainly. This is certainly their profit center. So absolutely, there's a financial component because, of course, I mean, they couldn't keep doing this if they didn't make any money at it. I mean, doing this for free is not really an option unless you're independently wealthy. So, yes, of course, there is a financial component, but they are also true believers in this. I mean, Roland Martin could never make it as a Republican. Roland Martin could never make it among pro-black. Roland Martin could never make it among masculine men. None of those other guys can either. So these are the individuals who pass for males among the circles of the Kamala Harrises and the Joy Reids.
Agreed.
They don't make it anywhere else. So socially, not just financially, but socially speaking, they're outcasts. That's the only, over there being the useful male eunuchs is the only place they do fit in. And because they don't really have any better options, that's how they make money off of it, because they're the only real, quote unquote, technical male options they have to put in that position. So there is a financial component, but don't be mistaken, they do better when their party wins. Because number one, now you owe them. Number two, if the party is not in power, they can't really insist on things for you. Please remember, you get a lot when an administration is in power. You get a lot, folks, it becomes a situation where, okay, vice president didn't talk to you, but they might have one of their apparatchiks speak to you, whatever. So you can get access, you can be in places. There are perks that happen when you are aligned with the parties that are in power. Please remember, what's his name? Mark Dice, he was a major component of Trump's reelection here. Mark Dice and who was the other one? I forget the other white supremacist there on Twitter. I forget the other one's name. But those two were major components at the ground level. Major. And then you find out later that, oh yeah, they've been talking to Trump directly. They don't ever have to have him on their program again. Charlie Kirk, that was it. Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk has been super major 10 toes on the ground, dough knocking for 4 years. And Charlie got an inside track now directly to Eric Trump, which is what Charlie wanted.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that, dude, some of these folk y'all seen on Twitter and whatnot, what's his name? Tim Pool, Charlie Kirk, Mark Dice.
Yeah, Matt Walsh.
That whole Daily Wire crew, Ben Shapiro. Dude, Trump being in power, I mean, that's exactly where they want to be. They already make enough money, but okay, now you got money. Is what you got without the influence. So no, sir, you get a lot of perks in that situation. The reason why it doesn't seem so obvious with Roland is because we all see that, by the way, when the Democrats won, they act like they didn't know the nigga. So that's the reason why to you it seems like, well, there's no benefit to him because they didn't acknowledge his existence after they won. And that's why I had to remind you, 4 years later, actually take a look at what happened. Yeah, they don't want to acknowledge him unless they need him because he is so obviously with his damn hand out. That's the problem they have with Roland is Roland can't just sit here and help them and be quiet. Roland's made it very clear that he expects something. He's not even being subtle. Every time you turn, y'all need to give me money. Mark Dice ain't doing that. Ben Shapiro's not doing that. So it's a lot easier for you to work with them than having Roland's panhandling ass that as soon as you get something, here he is sending you a bill. And now that you paid Oprah $1 million, think about that for a few moments. Oh, Roland ain't never gonna let that go. It's like, oh, y'all pay Oprah $1 million. I need that. That's where you at. So when you consider that, brother, no, there's a financial component. There's perks to being mobbed up with the party that's in power. There's perks to that. Even if Roland's not using it as effectively, there's perks to that. Somebody in the chat room said Van Jones. Hell yeah, Van Jones got mobbed up with the Democrats. Next thing you know, Jeff Bezos drops $100 million. What?
Yeah, dude.
Brother, you think that's an accident?
I think he's a coward.
I'm just saying, that's not coincidence.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Not coincidence. You mobbed up with the folk who in power. Next thing you know, it rains. So think of it in those regards.
Okay. I have one more question. Well, not even a question, but more of a I can't say it's a hypothesis or anything. So I don't know if you're aware of what's going on over here in Houston, where it comes to you spoke earlier about this whole lore of them trying to make people step down in order for to get Kamala Harris any type of role, Supreme Court. She wasn't qualified for president. Now she's pretty much they're begging, they're asking their audience for all that other consolation prizes. Are you aware of that? Sheila Jackson Lee passed away, and now that her daughter is now stepped into her place until Sylvester Turner, who's under investigation, by the way. Sylvester Turner is now he's gonna. Unfortunately, I voted against him. He's going to be the 18th congressional district over here in Houston. Are you aware that Sheila Jackson Lee's daughter just was up on stage, just looking foolish because she's only going to be in office for like 2 months or something like that? And I think that kind of reflects what they want with Kamala Harris. I think they are doing this on all, I don't know, I don't want to say all levels because I only saw it in Houston, but I saw Sheila Jackson Lee's daughter just accepted Sheila Jackson Lee's place until I think January, where Sylvester Turner is going to apparently take the spot over here on the 18th congressional district. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I said this here before. Folks are really cool on this idea of the old niggas from the Congressional Black Caucus handing off the damn seats to their children. Elijah Cummings and Jimbo Jangles Clyburn. And so this political fiefdom that the white Democrats have allowed their House niggas to set up for themselves, people are cool on that now. Folks they're not really digging that right now. So what they're finding is that the environment is not nearly as amicable and accepting of that kind of garbage anymore. So look for it to be a harder sell than it's ever been. There's the real problem. The Jesse Jackson Juniors and whatnot, the environment was actually turning cold on that decades ago. You're going to see people a lot less receptive to it now. Whole lot less receptive. So it's not going to be nearly as easy to put on your deadbeat daughters as it used to be. Them heifers going to have to go to law school and get a real job.
Right. Oh, that's a good thing for all of us, man. They got to go to school. They can and I feel good about a more percentage moving to the Republicans and to the Green Party when it comes to black people, because it kind of shows that trend is continuing, that we're not just sitting around voting for Democrats, vote blue no matter who, is not working with the black community. And I'm glad that a lot of people actually didn't vote for or didn't even show up to vote, because it actually proves that we're listening to the issues and all that stuff. Now, I am kind of, even though the trend is showing in our favor, I am kind of sad that I saw over 70% of people voted for Kamala Harris because she offered no solutions. And the solutions she offered you guys were like marijuana, which would apply to everybody. So it wasn't just for black men, which she's putting the black men agenda. And it kind of disappoints me that even my younger sister, she voted for Kamala Harris. That does disappoint me a little bit, but I love the trend that I see.
No, this is a game of inches. Our job is to take percentage points, and over time, what is the trend doing? The trend over time is very, very clear. Okay, it's not in dispute. So the real thing here is not about what percentage of people voted for her. When I'm sitting here showing you, by the way, fewer people voted for Kamala Harris, fewer people voted in the 2024 election than voted in 2020. That's the first thing. So that right there tells you a massive number of people just checked out. Then when you compare the numbers in 2020 to the numbers in 2008, 12 years earlier, Barack Obama ran for president. He had no problem taking North Carolina. Soon as he stops running, the Democrats can't get it again. You're in an electoral college system, so recognize what the numbers really have to do and what the numbers really mean. Mm-hmm. A move of half a percentage point is the difference between taking the state of Carolina and going back to California.
Okay.
15, 20,000 people can be the difference between going to the White House and going back to Sacramento or Santa Barbara, where the hell is she living at now. And that's what I want you all to understand, how the numbers really work.
Well, one more question before I leave off of here. As somebody in Houston, what would you suggest to me if I'm planning on running for a local seat or maybe a city council seat or something, maybe even lower than that? What would be your suggestion? I don't want to take up too much of your time. I noticed I've been up here for a minute.
All politics work for two things. Number one, money. Number two, networking. If you're not independently wealthy, like I say, you better figure out a way to get some money, or otherwise you're going to be a hell of a fundraiser. So those are the two things that power politics, is money and networking. It's not enough to just throw your hat in the ring to be a politician. You have to ask yourself how well you're known. These are very basic questions. Where's your social network? What church are you a member of? Take a look at what Barack Obama did. These are places where you can network and organize, and you're known by more people than just the folk in your house. You know, were you in the military? Things like that. What's going to go in your resume? Or are you just, hello, vote for me, concerned citizen number 578?
Okay.
Just keep those are the kind of things that a person who wants to get into politics has to keep in mind. So when you see these people in politics and you hear things that to you don't really seem to matter, like what's his name? Pete Hegseth. Oh, he was in the military. I mean, those are things that actually do matter. Those are things that do go on a resume, because this signifies different communities you're a member of.
Okay.
Now, I don't think you've ever been in the military. You don't look like one. So here's that's okay, but neither have I. But here's the thing. There are different dimensions to that you may not be aware of, because people who have been in the military, people who are in the military or have been in the military, please remember they got military bases, military groups, American Legion. I can go down the list. Mm-hmm. That is a network. And these are people who are active and do get involved, because remember, when wars break out, they're the first ones who get called, and they can get called up to service even if they're retired. So those are the kind of things we're talking about. Did you work for the state? Were you a state employee? So your networking ability, your inability to do that, that's the kind of thing that hurts you. If the only place that you're known is in your house, unless you're independently wealthy, getting the word out about how suitable for a candidate you are becomes an uphill fight. It's easier when you have other people you can directly network with. They know who you are, and they can be boosters for you.
Okay. So what would you say to somebody like me? I think one of my more impressive attributes is, someone who's been a union member for over 15 years. There's other attributes. I graduated from the University of Houston and all that stuff. But besides that, somebody who has been a union member, part of the working class, understand the everyday struggle, understand the Houston life, understand that prices is out of control, understand that
you understand the same thing everybody else does. Why should anybody choose you? You are one among the 5 million people in that metroplex. Okay, why should we choose you? What I'm saying is all those things you're naming off, what makes you more special than anybody else. And it's really immaterial, because the real thing is, in politics, whoever has the highest profile, that's why that matters. Trump had a very high profile because of being on The Apprentice and being a businessman for decades. So if you have that, it helps. Once again, all those things you're naming, if you're not leveraging that to form a network, then you might as well not have them.
Okay, I get you.
So you can name them off, but how are you leveraging that for a network? Then after that, the next thing is, by the way, how many folk, if you're not independently wealthy on your own, how well are you at organizing to raise money? So you're going to have to organize to raise networking, and then organize to raise money, and the rest goes from there. So, and the other thing is, there is a back door into these things, but once again, it costs money. If you're a person who has media access, that's another thing that really helps, because that's, once again, you're being broadcast to a bunch of people. So that's another thing that helps. But once again, only if you've actually cultivated and utilized it. So once again, folks, y'all want to get into politics? Hey, you need to be networking like a son of a gun. Your other citizens in the city, a percentage of them have to know who you are. And that's just the start. And that doesn't guarantee you're going to win. But without that, you're a nobody. That actually, in my opinion, takes precedence to money. Kamala Harris spent more money than Donald Trump did. Mm-hmm. Then again, so did Hillary Clinton. And take a look at what happened. So your ability to leverage media matters. But knowing how to network and having a network, if you're just one guy by yourself, it's irrelevant. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Michael up here on Zoom. You can't be just concerned citizen number 5,263. Everybody thinks they're a concerned citizen. The real thing is, are you doing politics better than everybody else? Politics is a popularity contest, people. Bottom line, whether you like it or not, politics is a popularity contest. If you're not good at popularity contests, or you're not interested in it, this is going to be a rough ride. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Michael up here on Zoom. Michael, what's on your mind?
Hi, Jason. I listen to you often, and I'm paraphrasing now, but I believe I've heard you say on several occasions, if we can't all be comfortable, then we can all be equally uncomfortable. You're familiar with that, right?
I'm the one who made the phrase.
And that made me think, who, in your opinion, is more dangerous? A man with everything to lose, or a man with nothing to lose?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on which side of the equation that you are on. A person who has everything to lose and they don't have the ability to support themselves, they'll do anything. They will betray everyone around them because they've got everything to lose. So if you're a person counting on them, you could be in a bad spot. The people most likely to betray you are the people who feel they got everything to lose. The people who are most likely to buck the system are the ones who have nothing to lose. And that's generally because they've tried to get something to lose and the system made sure they couldn't do it. So they have a goal. Their goal is to get to a position where they have something to lose. Whereas the other party is trying to make sure they hold on to what they got. So I would tell you, it depends on which side of it you're on. If you are the system that's been oppressing people, the most dangerous person for you are those who have nothing to lose. And if you are a person who's got something and wants to hold on to it, needs to trust people, probably the most dangerous person for you is trusting somebody around you who got something to lose.
So they're both equally dangerous.
I don't want to say it depends on the situation. That's what I'm saying. It depends on where you are. If you're the system, it's not equally dangerous. The other folks who are in power, they're happy with the way things are. Your threat is those who don't have anything. Because whereas with folk who have something, you can keep them in line by threatening what they've got. You don't have to go to war against them. Hey, dude, you buck up on me. We're going to get together and take what you got. So he won't even get out of the gate. These other folk over here who have nothing, not only are they willing to fight you, you don't even know what their price is. So you can buy off these other folk over here who got something by threatening to take what they got. The ones who don't have anything, not only do you have to give them something, you don't know how much you're going to have to break with. And once they see you start giving, that may embolden them to extract even more. So you see, with the folk who have something, you know what the cutoff is. With the folks who got nothing, you could actually be opening yourself up to unlimited exposure, up to and including your own overthrow. Which is what the guy over here who has something to lose, he's not interested in either fighting you or overthrowing you. The folk with nothing to lose, they going all out. So it's not equal.
And one other point, I've heard you say that MSNBC and CNN, their ratings are tanking. So do you think that if they had what some consider controversial content, YouTube content providers such as yourself, Tariq Nasheed, Professor Blacktooth, Lisa Cabrera, Crimson Cure, if they had you on debating other people on the other side of the fence, like the Joy Reids and the Al Sharptons, do you think that would make their ratings change?
Well, of course it would. It would have done it a decade ago, and that's precisely the reason that we're not there. Your networks are like the NBA teams and whatnot. You don't really have the best and brightest. You have the best who are chosen and selected because they are good for business. Joy Reid would never buck up against MSNBC. Megyn Kelly bucked up against Fox. That's why she's independent today, and she's actually bigger today than she's ever been. Joy Reid would never do that and could never do that. So with these networks, they don't really want to make you your own independent media company. They don't really want to do that for you. That's not really what they want to do. They want you to be a well-paid employee. And they don't even want you to be a well-paid employee anymore. They want you to be a badly paid employee. But the other thing is they have their audiences, man. The corporations are interested in having mouthpieces who speak to social issues that ultimately do not affect the corporation itself. That's the issue. The other thing is, if you go to work for one of these companies, you do understand that part of your contract is you ain't going to be able to attack them. So if I work for MSNBC, I wouldn't be able to call out Joy Reid anymore. Because in their contract, you don't get to talk against your coworkers. So this would be the same as you working at General Motors. You don't get to trash your coworkers at GM. If you go to work for MSNBC, guess what? You can't talk trash about Joy anymore. So you don't get to counter program like that. So that idea of quote unquote debating it's not actually going to be as robust as you tell yourself. There's a reason why these places basically devolve into echo chambers. And the people that they do bring on, the only folks who really light things up are folks who don't work for the corporation. So certain politicians, certain media people, yeah, they can go on there and say some things. Nina Turner, she can go on there and say some things because she doesn't actually work for them. She can be on the panel, but she's not their employee. Oh, so she can say that, but guess what? Then she shows up only once a year. They're only going to bring her on once a year. She's not going to be there every week. So just recognize it's kind of a rigged thing there. But here's the other thing, brother. I have no interest at this point. We're bigger than they are. We're bigger than them now. The numbers are bearing that out. Everybody and their mama's like, Trump made more headway with one appearance on Joe Rogan than he did on all the times he showed up on CNN. These things have become really symbolic, anachronistic things. They're relics that we recognize from a long bygone era. They're part of big corporations, but they can't deliver the numbers that the corporations needed because the cable television model doesn't make the profits anymore. The internet does. These are individuals who are inept and can't operate in an internet environment. They don't know how to talk to an internet audience. Dana Bash and Wolf Blitzer, they don't know how to talk to an internet audience. They don't have a clue how. They're really repressed. They're one-sided. They're myopic. They're one-dimensional. And so they're part of a dying media apparatus culture that can't help but keep going because these people don't have a skill set that goes outside of it. So if I went over there, I would simply be in a disarmed madhouse. I can't really say what I want to say because I want to take some of these folk over here to some of my coworkers to task, so I can't do it. That's why I couldn't be at Fox either, because I can't take my coworkers to task. I can't do it. So if they got me over there, they would be paying me millions to silence me. Take a look at Candace Owens. First time she bucked up on them, what happened? So she shows you what happens if you ever did try it.
I mean, if I was paying you, I want you to speak your mind.
Oh, yes, you want me to speak my mind, but you don't want me to speak my mind at your expense. Now that I can't make you enough money to be doing that at my expense. It doesn't matter if I make you $1 billion a year, Tucker Carlson, Fox News. One lawsuit from Debo, that was it for him. I'm just, you don't make enough money to do that at their expense. Remember, they have a brand. I've taught y'all that before. If you're saying things that damage the brand, oh, wait a minute, you can't make us enough money to attack the brand. You cannot. That's why Kris Kardashian told Kim to go ahead and divorce Kanye. She was all right with Kanye going off on her daughter. When Kanye started going at Kris, she's like, oh, you're attacking the brand. You got to go. I don't care how many albums you sell. You're never going to be so valuable that you can attack the brand. So you got to go. And that's the way it is, brothers. You're never going to be valuable enough to MSNBC or CNN that you can attack the brand. Even if you do it without saying CNN or MSNBC. Because you can attack the brand.
For freedom of speech.
Yeah, you can attack the brand without ever mentioning their names. And they know that. So it's like, yeah, we ain't really trying to do that. We're not really trying to do that. So that's the reason why you don't actually hear the most influential voices on those networks, and you never will. Because what you're talking about necessitates attacking the brand. CNN does not want to stop being CNN. CNN wants to make more profits being what they already are. What you're talking about is a prescription to change the whole network. And that is not what they want. Neither does Fox. That's why Rupert Murdoch done kicked one son out the damn wheel and then put the other boy back in. They're not trying to change what they are. So these are all very easy things for you to say because you're not actually CNN. You don't actually run CNN. So burning it down for you is you're like, of second nature, of course, burn it down. See, that up in Atlanta, that's not going to go so easy.
One final word, if you could allow me. I heard there was this one brother was saying this one sister was mad with black men, because of the millions of votes that she think that they didn't provide for Kamala Harris. And the brother answered her and said, well, those millions of votes were the number of aborted black babies. And she got really mad when he said that.
Yeah, like I say, the lesson we're going to also take from this here is some of the psych jobs and whack jobs out there, folks with their mommy issues and daddy issues. We've been leading the charge against that for a while here, and folks tried to act like we didn't really speak for the people. Now they have to acknowledge that we do. It's a whole bunch of folk who they've been giving their HBCU babble, and that's been floating for a little while. The audience is a lot less receptive. The last decade is bearing fruit. So a lot of that damn HBCU babble where they bring in their black feminists and whatnot, and they pretend like those are the spokespeople for the society, it's going to be a lot less hospitable environment going forward. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me go ahead and see if I can get back over here on Zoom again. Let me see if I can get Zoom loaded up here again. Okay, I think I got Elijah here on Zoom. Elijah, where you at?
I'm right here. I'm going to turn on my camera right now, big brother. Pardon me for that.
All right, brother Elijah on Zoom. What's on your mind?
Hey, good evening, big brother. To you, B1 to you and the family. This program really puts you really in a deep state of mind. It sure did me, because I just have questions. When you I saw your Twitter tweet when they was talking about Kamala Harris could possibly win California, and then I'm asking this question. We people seen that episode before when former President Tricky Dicky Nixon, when he tried to when he lost the presidency, he tried to run against Pat Brown, I believe in 1962, and lost the governor by a handful of votes. So I don't think they're gonna really put that woman in there.
No, I mean they're groping at straws. I mean, they said California governor, Supreme Court, and I'm just saying this is not a good look. This is not a good look when you're soliciting her for positions she didn't even ask for. All this makes you look is incredibly desperate. People don't vote for desperate politicians.
Right.
You might, just because her supporters are out of luck and feel that she's entitled so that they can remain relevant, because it's really about their supporters remaining relevant. That's their candidate lost, which means all of them lost. Okay, but the general population does not feel beholden to your desperation. That's the problem. Now you all just, in politics, the worst thing is in politics you look desperate. In society, the worst thing to be in politics is desperate, and the worst thing to be in society is weak. The politician looks desperate and their supporters now look weak. You look incredibly weak out here begging like this. It's so obvious to everyone you're trying to grab whatever you can get and smash and grab and run out the store. That doesn't make people want to support you.
That's right. And then well, I got a question for you, because this is you're the master at this. Do you believe because Kamala Harris, technically she's still pretty young as far as politic years, I'll say. All right, I'm not saying she's young, but I'm saying like for politics, she just turned 60, and she could have had a long runway. She already reached the vice presidency now. Now that she lost the presidency, do you think she's going to go into obscurity?
Yeah, she'll have no choice. This isn't up to her. Please name for me a vice president of the last 100 years who lost their seat and then went on to bigger things. Bigger like what? She can't be president. Where's she going? Where's she going? So, no, I mean, that's the way politics works. When you run for president, that's a do or die. It's do or die. And you don't want to be the person who lost. So tell me what happened to Al Gore.
Obscurity.
We see this every damn cycle. This isn't new. Sarah Palin. Come
Obscurity.
on, folks. This is the way that goes. If you want to play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. It is what it is. What everybody who tries this, be careful if you go for that particular brass ring. If you go for it, you better get it. Joe Biden is a bit of an anomaly. He kept going until eventually he was useful. But he is an anomaly. For the rest of y'all, hell no. And the problem for Kamala Harris was she didn't have any real pedigree or any desirability outside of this. She tried to run in 2020. It was a disaster. So it would be different if she were a highly popular person who made it to vice president. But she wasn't even that. So no, Kamala Harris, she is now free to go open her OnlyFans or whatever she's going to do over there. But as far as politics, no, we're through here.
Oh, wow.
Brother, I mean, who's going to run for office? I said this a couple of weeks ago. What is the benefit of you running for office and trotting Kamala Harris out? If you want to run for office, what do you benefit by bringing her out with you? Getting her endorsement. How does that help you? Name a single person that's the game changer.
And I can't. I really can't.
So, like I say, it's just get out your heads, folks. If you become vice president, you've only got one other place you can go. That's it. And if you make it, hopefully you'll get your 4 years or 8 years. If you don't, it's done. So that's the crazy thing. You either make it to president and you're done, or you don't make it to president and you're done. But the bottom line is going for president, that's a one-way trip. It's a one-way trip. Trump is an anomaly in that he ran for re-election and lost and was able to maintain that momentum. But that's an anomaly. You've only had one other president, I think, do that, Grover Cleveland. That's an anomaly. This doesn't happen all the time. It's only happened twice in the history of the Republic.
Yes, sir.
So no, brother, you lose the vice presidency. That's it. You become a trivia question on game shows. That's the way it works.
I got another question. I don't even know if to call her a sister. Joy Baldhead Reed. I have a question for about this sister. Where was all of that good talk years ago when she had the opportunity to do it? Why now you just coming out and then you're speaking like Black women? You never identified with the Black American experience. Why all of a sudden now? And then my other question that's attached to that one, where does she go when MSNBC gives her the boot? Because none of us are watching her. She was useless for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, her audience has been liberal white women and LGBT Black females on the college circuit, but she's never been a mass market product. Her whole thing, she's like the Black female Tucker Carlson. She's so far to the left. Her job is to say incendiary things to get attention and get buzz on herself. So that's all she really does, is say provocative, crazy stuff. What she isn't is influential. And that's problematic. Because if people are not interested in you, all they do is from time to time regurgitate you because you said something nutty. That you can't really make a career out of that. Being the little female shock jock is very tempting to think you can do that, but technically speaking, that becomes a fight uphill.
Yes, sir.
So that's where she's at now. Look, the real thing is when they had that purge at MSNBC after Trump won, Obama was out of office and Trump won, and then they purged all the niggas out. Surprisingly, she was the one they kept. They got rid of the others and kept her. They brought in Tiffany Cross and then showed her ass the door. But they kept her. And I'm just letting y'all know, these people, they need their little jobs. These folks are not independently wealthy. They need their little jobs.
Yes, sir.
That's why these networks are stationed out of New York and D.C., the most incredibly high-priced places they can be. So you're constantly in the position of having to try to keep your damn slot and keep your station in life and keep your socioeconomic status because you need it now.
Yes,
I
sir.
work for CNN. Okay, you live in Atlanta or New York. I work for ABC. You're in New York. I work for NBC or MSNBC. I'm in D.C. Okay, now you got to make a hell of a bunch of money to stay because that's where you live. So when they're making a bunch of money, they don't have no problem telling you and me kiss their ass. That's the difference. When they sitting on top and they're flying high, Joy Reid has no problem telling Black men what she really thinks of us. That's why they hired her, because everybody around the office knows, she don't like Black men to begin with. Certainly not heterosexual Black men. She has no use for them. She has nothing but scorn and venom for them. Okay, here, let's give her a contract because we know what she about. There's a reason why you don't have a bunch of white women who dig Black men on cable TV. You don't have that. No, you got your mammies and your ass kissers. Brother, you're fully vetted. They know what they're dealing with. Simone Sanders and the rest of them. That's why we got a nonstop crew of bed wenches and every damn thing else. Allison, what's her face on MSNBC? Hell yeah. Abby, whatever her name is. Abby Phillips. Yeah. Brother, it's not coincidental that you keep seeing Sage Steele, Abby Phillips, what's her name?
Malika
Harris Faulkner on Fox
Yes.
News. There's a reason why you see all these Black females zaddied up. There's
Yes,
a
sir.
reason. That's not accidental. This defies all statistics in society. So the networks, 90% of the Black women have got white men. What statistical anomaly is this? What the hell kind of statistical anomaly is this? Brother, that can only happen if you're selecting for it. That you are filtering out everybody else and you are selecting for that. Mathematically, statistically speaking, that is impossible for this to keep occurring unless you're selecting for it. Yeah, Sonny Hostin, we can go down the damn list, every damn body.
Yes, sir.
That's not coincidental. That's not a fluke of physics. They are selecting for it. Or you got to be bald-headed. Damn. MSNBC, you can't be on their damn network if you got hair head as a black woman. I mean, you can't be on MSNBC with a full head of hair if you're a black woman. It's like, hell, you got too much damn hair. You can't work here. Don't you see Simone Sanders and Joy Reid? You can't work here. We can't have you. Bye.
Yes, sir.
Call us back when the alopecia set in. So that's what I'm saying. That's not accidental, man. When you see the same damn thing, bruh, this is it. For many of these white executives, it's a joke because they're mocking us.
Yes,
and they're
sir.
mocking you openly. But this is what it is. So these women got their little jobs, and when them white folk gave them a check for $2 or $3 million, they said, "Damn it, I made it." Now I can tell these black males what the hell I really think.
Yes, sir.
And that's what they did for years. And now they're married to the game. Now they want to do a 180 because they're about to lose their end. But oh no, you married to the game now. You're handcuffed to the game. And that's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Yes, sir. I got one last question. Earlier in your in tonight's broadcast, when you're talking about these nasty fat pillberry doughboy politicians or broadcast news like Roly Poly Martin, I have this question. Why are you all right? Even just last night, I was looking at Potbelly Gary Chambers. Why are these fat nasty people feel they're in a position to tell us they can lead us, but they can, for some apparent reason, they can't lead themselves away from their refrigerators?
Well, like I say, I mean, there's a certain type that they like. There's a certain type they like. There's a certain type they gravitate towards. They're harmless. These are not black males who are desired. These are not black males who are leading. So it's they like a black male who is weak. Weak, vulnerable. That's what they like.
And then Roly Poly Martin on his stupid program, beep 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 beep. All right. You want to pick the cotton? Beep beep. Come on, or pick who's gonna pick the produce? Come on, shut your ass up, brother. Come on, man. You can't even pick nothing up with your pot belly ass. So what makes these people think people like that got any influence?
They got their little job or got their little position and whatnot. There's look, the system's set up like that for a reason. And nobody shows up out of nowhere. Nobody does that. That's not what happens. They show up there for a reason. They get given their position for a reason.
Yes.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight here. I think I got Frank on the line for me here. Let me go ahead and see if I got Frank on the line for me. All right, we got Frank here on Zoom. What's on your mind, Frank? Okay, I'm waiting for Frank to figure out his newfangled technology. Go ahead, Frank.
Newfangled technology. What's going on, fam?
All right, brother.
Man, so I called in. I think a week before the election, just to give you guys the props, man. The new voices of the new black media for getting the word out, for keeping us educated, for keeping us in tune with what's popping, what's going on. I'm trying to figure out where those 20 million votes that President Biden got in 2020, where those votes went. So I think the work that you guys are doing, man, it's phenomenal work. It's truly revolutionary work as well. About the Tether community, you can see that they keep paying these guys a lot of money, but the money that they're paying these guys, it's not. They should redirect what it is they're doing, because they're just failing. They keep failing because they don't know that the real individuals are where you guys are at. Your voices are reaching us far, far and wide. So I just want to give you guys the props and the flowers, man.
Oh, brother, no. They do know. Please remember, First of all, it's their job to know. I need you all to understand that their power comes from being the quote unquote corporate apparatus. And the game that they played forever is basically that everybody else is the minor leagues and they're the big leagues. And so all of us are supposed to be competing and jockeying in order to get signed to the big leagues. So that's what they do in the record business and in the media business. Oh, you're supposed to be on YouTube and you're supposed to be trying to use that to jockey your way to get on cable TV. And then they saw us and we really weren't doing that. But their job is to look out for people like that. That's their whole job. That's why I brought this up to you all over a decade and a half ago, because I wanted to make sure the information I was giving you all was solid. Chuck Todd said it. He said, we don't break news on cable TV anymore. He said, news breaks on the internet. We just comment about it on cable TV. They knew it then. This is way before Netflix became the thing. They knew it then. They've always known. When they were talking about Issa Rae the same damn year that I came out and I raised twice as much money, brother, they all knew that. They're like, nigga, we don't fool with you. You don't kiss ass. We don't fool with you. So we're not, you may make it, but it's not going to be with our help. And then we'll try to pretend you don't exist. Okay. Then we get around to the end of Barack Obama's presidency. Hillary Clinton wants to run. Next thing you know.
That's when that really popped off.
Well, I mean, next thing you know, they realize we can't ignore this. Trump wins. Next thing you know, Russian bots, disinformation. Then this last time, black manosphere and misogynor and misogyny. You know, next thing you know, they're going with all that. Well, and without trying to say us, in some cases with saying it. So just recognize when you're winning, they know that they don't want to go head up with us. Now, this is the part that's really tricky for y'all. They don't want to go head up with us. That is not in the format. That's not in the cards. They are not going to go head up with us. They're going to send Bakari Sellers cornball ass. They're going to send somebody who can afford to take a L. That's who they're going to send, but they're not going to come head up at us.
100%. And we can see that they're not coming head up with you guys. And we can see that that they're actually tuning in, just like how I'm calling in right now. They're probably tuning in, not calling in. And I say that because you can see the clues, the clues that they put out there. They put the bootlicks out there, like the Black 100 Men Summit. And then Kamala Harris going over to the barbershops and all these other silly tactics employs. When you guys say she has a problem with the black voters, what happens next? She goes to the barbershops. When they say she's having problems and issues with black men, they host a Black 100 Black Men Summit or whatever kind of summit that they hold. The last thing I do want to say, how extremely despicable was it for them to try to attempt to use misogyny as though we don't have mothers, as though we don't praise and give love to our granddaughters, our female companions, our mothers, our grandmothers, our daughters, all that. You know what I mean? So to just utilize misogynistic tactic ploys as a way to say, oh, black men are
because they have an incompetent class of advisors and consultants. They've chosen people they like, not people who know. That's the difference. Kamala Harris didn't remember, she lost a bunch of people on her staff, but the way these parties work now, brother, they're not going to talk to you if you're not safe. They want to hear what they want to hear. And if you come to them with something they don't want to hear, they're going to show your ass the door. So unless you have a track record of being in the tank and being, quote, on the team, they'll spend the money and just rather do without you. And remember, people only start listening when they start losing. So now that they're losing, it's like, okay, they're now taking into account. This is why they're spazzing out on cable TV. What are they complaining about? All their pollsters and all their advisors who told them that they were doing all the right things. That's why Professor Lichtman, 100%. That's why he is banished. He's done. Because he told Kamala Harris she was doing all the right things. That she satisfied all of his keys. Remember that jackass?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's one of the damn advisors. Same thing with Roland Martin. Exactly. Roland Martin said that Kamala Harris's campaign was doing everything right. Their only mistake, remember, he said the only mistake is that they're not doing a good enough job publicizing it. She got $1 billion damn. This nigga is lying through his damn teeth. The policies are awful. Her positions are terrible. The candidate is a damn abortion. And you got a bunch of people that you're paying to lie to you. because they want to keep getting the checks so long as you may raise $1 billion and they trying to get $1 million of it. That's the problem that they have. All these quote consultants, you raised $1 billion and they trying to get $1 million of it. And so they cannot afford to be honest with you. First of all, these people don't know how to be honest. That's the first thing.
Nope.
But second of all, you've got a bunch of people around you who they don't know. They don't know where the ground really is. They're not in touch with anybody who doesn't agree with them. They tell you that everybody who doesn't agree with you doesn't matter because they're wrong. And that's the worst thing you can do in politics. People who don't agree with you, you can't say they're wrong. Because now you're saying that you're trying to delegitimize them based on your position. Okay, they still have the right to vote. Now, you're either going to work on that or you're going to tell you, well, they don't matter because they're wrong. Okay, but does it matter if they're still qualified to vote? How about that? Okay, well, you don't like it. They're wrong. Yeah, they're wrong. And they're still qualified. They're still registered to vote too. And her people told her that that was irrelevant. Now, take a look at who they're taking to task. They're jumping on Nancy Pelosi. Bill Maher is jumping on the consultants and advisors. Jon Stewart, Simone Sanders. Everybody's jumping on the consultants and advisors, even some of them who are consultants and advisors. Ain't that right, Simone? The folk who told them that the Democrats, you're doing everything right.
100%, man. And all of those advisors, I do believe that they were working, they were intentionally actually lying to the media, lying to the public, should I say, because all the people you just named, from Jon Stewart to Simone Mamie Sanders, all of them, they have to put up this facade to try to sway us. You know, I think there were a lot of us that were registered. I was registered to vote, but I intentionally withheld my vote. And the last thing I do want to say, brother, is that I saw in the comment section, someone asked about Sirius XM radio people like Karen Hunter, how come he haven't said anything about them? And I do always know that Jason Black, if Jason Black doesn't mention somebody, he's pretty much telling you what he feels. And I'm not trying to speak for him. I'm just reiterating.
Well, like I say, I mean, some folks.
I listen to him, and I don't mean to cut you off, brother. I listen to him once in a while, and when I do listen to him, I always hear that snake oil language. You know what I mean? Because you taught us. So that's all I wanted to say.
Well,
brother, man. Appreciate
folks
you.
are going to have to be discriminating about what they ingest and things like that. You can't just soak up everything. And when you hear issues, don't ignore them. As far as the thing you said there before about why is it they would be calling us, you know, all these names and stuff. It's also because take a look at their consultants. Simone Sanders, Roland Martin, Van Jones, Professor Wacko of the Week that they bring on. These people have an abusive, assaulting mindset toward black people and black men specifically. And we said this for years. To white folk, it's always patting their hand and, oh, well, Miss Molly, it's like this. With black folk, you dumbass niggas over there need to shut the hell up. So that's the way that they approach us. So that's the only way that they speak to us. It's the only way they regard us. So when it's time to speak to us, all they can do is talk to us like a fool. And they sold white people on the idea that's how you gotta talk to black folks. Simone Sanders was one of the folk who was pioneering that. Oh, that's the way you gotta talk to black folk. You can't be soft on black folk. You gotta put them in their place. With Joe Biden with that, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. So they've told the white folk that that's how you gotta talk to black people. Now they saw it blow up in their faces. It's gonna be a whole bunch of white folk telling them, yeah, that wasn't so bright. You're going to see a whole bunch of folk who got some consultant money this year who are not going to be in line to get consultant money in 2 years or 4 years. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Going to be a whole bunch of folk who got a little consultant check this season ain't going to be in line to get one in a couple years. When the midterms and the next election roll around, they're going to get voted off the island. It's not going to go nearly as easy the next time as it did this time on account of the fact you lost. They assured the white folk that talking to us like massa and talking sharp to us and being real strict and real stern and in your face, that was what was going to work. They saw it blew up. Bad position to be in. Let me go ahead and get over here on Zoom. I got MB back over here on Zoom. What's on your mind?
Yeah, sorry about I had way too many tabs open last time, but sorry about the big bro. But Yo, there's a lot here, man, going on. That the whole thing about them saying one thing, but what really happened turned another. Like I was reminded that going through Northwest here, and I'm not sure how many billboards artists are up here in Philly, but I know right around in Ogons, there was this billboard that said there will be record high voter turnout this year. Pennsylvania early voting ends Tuesday, October 29th. Election day is Tuesday, November 5th. And like I told you in another broadcast, that joint was like 50 shades of John Kerry turnout, man. Like, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Roland was talking about with that freedom, whatever the hell them folk are, that freedom pack thing that I was telling you all about, who were saying that people can't see who you voted for, but they can see if you voted. I'm like, just real low-key threatening stuff. And this is who Kamala Harris and them were paying. This is who they were paying. So you had a bunch of bad consultants, bad PACs, bad political operatives who really just wanted their little chunk of that $1 billion. And they put out a bunch of bad information, and the results were predictable. Is this going to make the Democrats or Kamala Harris or the rest of them be more open to an honest assessment next time? Hell no. They're going to go right back and do what they did again, only it's going to be a different group of consultants this time who are going to sound a little bit different. But do not expect this disastrous voyage to change what they're doing. When they finish smarting, when Trump takes office, they're going to tweak the formula a little bit and bring in a new group of liars to them and then rinse and repeat.
Yeah, and with some of the shills coming out here, man, you kind of broke my brain when you showed me that brother that was crashing out on some crash out political simping type ish, man. What was he talking about? Biden should step down to come out and be president for 30 days. That's like almost as bad as simping as that nigga from last night talk about he want Lizzo to give him $1 million. Like that's bad. Like, where do these people come from, man?
I mean, dude, all I'm saying is Kamala chose this guy. Think that over for a few moments. This is who she chose. That tells you everything about her campaign. That right there tells you she didn't end up where she is for nothing. Do you think that guy was telling Kamala Harris the truth about her not speaking to the press, not holding press conferences, not going on Joe Rogan? You think that guy was telling her the truth? Do you think that fellow was telling her anything she didn't want to hear?
Yeah, that's the problem with yes men, and that's the problem with yes men in general. And yeah, her getting hard critique, that's a hard one right there. You think, yeah, she's going to have anyone in her circle that's going to give her any hard critique? I mean, that's an obvious right there. But I think that's epidemic of the whole party, I would say. Because everything is so much of a social club. Is anyone going to really hard check anyone like that in any smaller circle like that? And
no, the first thing they want are people who are going to be glad handing their quote on the team. They filter out anybody who doesn't. If you become problematic, you get kicked out, things like that. So you ultimately get left with a bunch of inexperienced, dishonest, unscrupulous, desperate individuals. That's who, when you get rid of all the competent, capable people, that's who you have left. The incompetent and the incapable. Oh, but I like them. Okay, well then you will have plenty of friendly company when you lose. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Moon up here on Zoom. Let me go ahead and see if we can try to get Moon. I'll give you 5 seconds to go ahead and get that taken care of for me here, Moon. Let me go ahead and make sure you got your camera and microphone turned on for me. Here's Moon. All right, Moon. Welcome here on Zoom, Moon. What's on your mind?
Well, hello, everybody. Hold on just a second. Let me.
All right, baby. Well, she got her bonnet on at this hour. What is you doing? Please tell me. Please tell me you're not on your way to Walmart.
No, absolutely not. I'm on my way to bed, and I wanted to talk to you and the family. Hi, everybody. Hi. Please don't have me on TV. I am ready for bed.
No, ma'am. Nobody else can see you but me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I am calling because I am one of the ones that sat on the couch. I'm an FBA sister. I am down for the family. I sat out this election because I felt that Kamala Harris she was disingenuous. She was a liar. We could all feel the fakeness. And I'm ashamed that I did not vote for Trump. I should have, because 78% of us are still voting for these people. Jason, what is it going to take for us to wake up and realize that we don't belong to either party? I hear Black women talking, and I'm embarrassed to say that unfortunately a lot of them are still going to vote Democrat. They're not waking up to the fact that we're voting for our own demise. What do we do, Jason?
Clearly from the results of the last 12, 14 years, that's been changing. So I don't want you all to have lagging indicators of things. Clearly the numbers are moving in that direction. Clearly the results of the last couple of weeks. This isn't really up for debate anymore. So I know a lot of you are still, dealing with a lot of the angst from that and a lot of the, frustration from it and whatnot. And the real thing is, I want you to understand how this is won. This is one percentage point at a time. You're not going to wake up in one election cycle and you got 50%. Furthermore, we don't need 50%. What? I've been doing this now going on 20 years. My goal was never to flip 20% of Black society. I always told y'all the same damn thing, 10%. Baby, what just happened here 2 weeks ago is a result of 10% change.
But all they're talking about is, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jason.
That's the result of 10% change. 10. Not 50, 10. I mean, folks, take yes for an answer. Recognize when you're winning. The hard heads, just please remember, most of them are irrelevant to begin with. They talk because they can't do anything else. Recognize when you're winning.
Okay, so, but all they're talking about is the Hispanic this, the Hispanic that. I'm so sick of hearing about Hispanics, Jason. They use our votes to help all these other groups while openly in our faces neglecting us and ignoring us. Biden actually apologized to the natives for the boarding schools. They're apologizing for all these to these other groups in our faces. And it's like when we speak our minds and when we open our mouths and when we say something, these people like these Jamal Simmons and these Jason Johnsons and these Joy Reids, they come at us like we're wrong. And it's like you almost want to question your own sanity. Thank God for the new Black media. I called Emmanuel Cleaver. I live here in Kansas City. I live in Missouri. And I called Emmanuel Cleaver, our representative, and two white people came to the phone, one young white man and one young white woman. And I predicted that this would happen thanks to you guys. I told them the talking points that you told us to say, and they completely ignored me. It's like I was speaking to a wall, Jason. They're not even trying to hear us at all. So all we can do is just keep stomping for the truth, keep on talking, telling the truth no matter what.
Well, my real thing is speak with your actions. I want you all to understand my point, okay? The great thing about the 50 Black men who pretended to be 100 Black Men Summit with D.L. Hughley, man, all you niggas is doing is giving me content.
Deal with it, nigga.
That's all you're doing. You're not moving the needle. You're certainly not beating us. You're just giving me content. Okay, I'm a media apparatus. I talk to the swing voters. So please remember, Kamala lost this election by like 150, 200,000 votes. Okay, that's the size of my audience here on a regular basis. It actually extends further than that, but the bottom line is, like I say, that matters. There's where the real progress is made. So when you do have things like that occur, I want you all to understand that when I sent my people out there to go speak to, when James Clyburn had the fish fry, and we showed up and hit him up about reparations, there's the reason for doing that is to show you that I'm doing the media work out here. We're on the ground doing the media work. CNN's not going to bring you that. Fox and them are not going to bring you that. Even the folks who claim to be against the Democrats, they're not going to bring you that footage. Right. If I didn't do it, you would never see that. So I'm showing you we can get in touch with the politicians. If we confront them directly, it's going to be more what y'all already heard. I'm doing that. So, okay, I brought you the proof positive. We don't have to do that again. We already did that. I want you all to do things that are effective. I don't think you all need to call these folk. Especially during an election year. Baby, an election year, we done talking.
Right.
We ain't got nothing to talk about. I'm not calling your office. I'm not speaking to your spokespeople. I'm going to speak to you at this election booth. We done talking. 2024, ain't nothing to talk about. The time to talk was 2020, 2021, 2022. 2023, we're going to fall back from talking. 2024, there's no talking at all. We're going to talk with our actions. So I want you to understand that's what strategy is. So it's like, yeah, by 2024, I don't have to talk to your people. I don't have anything else to say. You all have had 3 years to make your case to me. If I'm not going to be talking and begging you up to the last damn minute. You ain't said nothing else in 3 years. We ain't got nothing to talk about. I've already made my decision what I'm going to do about you. I'm either going to vote another way or vote for the couch, but I'm not voting for you. So I want y'all to understand, don't get caught up in the idea that we need to spend every damn day convincing these people. That's why I told you all decades ago, they heard us. When Barack Obama ran for president in 2008, he was talking like Jason Black in the Black Channel. I told y'all then, they heard us. They get it. Their whole thing is bait and switch. Talk good enough to get you to drop your defenses and then whammo, hit you with the whammy. And okay, bait and switch, we swerving on you. And they've been doing that year after year. What we've now shown them is that we're not falling for it anymore. So we don't care when you come up for election or re-election. We're not going to support you at any time until it breaks that behavior. That's what we're doing now. We ain't got to talk no more. Y'all didn't ever hear me say, we can talk to Joe Biden. Well, Jason, if you talk to Kamala Harris, I ain't got to talk to her for what? We have nothing to speak about. If she wanted to speak to me, I wouldn't turn it down, but I'm not chasing an interview. I talked to Jill Stein and them. I'm not chasing an interview with Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. She already knows what we're looking for. That's why they came with that bull jive to try to circumvent that. When they did post it, take a look on Twitter. Every whack job and their mama was sitting there posting on Twitter. All I did was post other things showing you that, by the way, this is smoke and mirrors. She's not offering us anything. All of her flunkies and whatnot flooding on my post because they realize, oh, hell, this is not what we need. My credentials in black society are good. Y'all are the ones trying to get her some credentials. That's the difference. So going forward here, I want your actions to do the speaking for you. I really don't think y'all need to call these people during an election year. You don't have to do that. If they haven't already, their job as the politicians is to come out the gate with the agenda that you're looking for. Your job is not to convince them to accept your agenda. They're looking for your vote, not the other way around. Speak with your actions, not your words. So they've had 3 years. The previous 3 years was the time to talk. Election year, we done talking. Talk for what? Call you for what? Talk to your campaign people for what? Y'all supposed to do that with me for 3 years. If I won't believe you in year 4. That's why Kamala Harris throwing out these Hail Mary passes and whatnot. I'm like, baby, it's too late for that. I don't believe you. You trying to throw a Hail Mary about what you're going to do for black men 30 days before the election. I don't believe that. I don't trust you. Yeah, I don't trust it. I don't trust you. You've been talking to everybody else for 3 years and saying that we don't matter. Now you think I'm going to believe you 30 days before election day? No, I don't believe that. I don't believe you'll do it. I think you're just sitting up here putting up smoke and mirrors. I don't believe you're going to follow through with that. I think this is just another bait and switch. Not going for it. You should have been doing all this talking for the last 3 years so we could have a dialogue. So I could tell you, by the way, these numbers you giving ain't right. Instead, you ignored our existence. We supposed to be having a dialogue for the last 3 years. And you didn't do that. Well, Jason, she just got in the race in July. She already knew what her handicaps were from 2020. She should have been coming to courting us as soon as Biden's ass fell over. She's supposed to come courting us then. She made it a point not to do so. I told y'all before, any other black person knows what to do under those circumstances. They knew full damn well you don't send out Steve Harvey and D.L. Hughley. You supposed to show up your damn self and say, I'm here to speak to my brothers and my sisters about what the issue is and what the situation is. Ain't nobody here that you know full damn well. You listen to Simone Sanders, listening to jackasses. We don't want to hear no spokespeople. We supposed to talk to you. You're supposed to be the one closing the deal. You supposed to come and sit down. As a black woman, you know full damn well what you're supposed to say when somebody challenges your black credentials. You know damn well what you're supposed to do. That is not the time to be talking nice and nothing damn anything else. You supposed to be have your paperwork straight. Kamala Harris couldn't do it. You know why? Because it's very hard to argue for your black credentials with Doug sitting next to you.
And deal with it, nigga.
Very hard to argue with us about. No wonder you ain't did nothing for us. We couldn't help but notice Doug over here. So that's the reason that she couldn't sit down and look us in the eye and talk to us face to face and go ahead and hash this issue out. That's the reason it couldn't work. So she attempted to avoid us and act like we didn't exist. And let me throw a Hail Mary 30 days before the end of the election. No, the time for you to have your credentials with us was back in 2020. Well, I couldn't say nothing for the last 3 years. It's going to be a hell of a ride. I got 90 days till the election. Baby, you better double time it. She didn't do any of those things. So 30 days, don't think we're going to make up our minds 30 days before the election. We made up our minds 30 months before the election. The time for talk is over. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Like I said here, folks, I want you to do things that are useful. Don't worry about calling these folk up and whatnot during an election year. They already know what the deal is. If they've been acting crazy all this time, when the election year comes up, don't be wasting your time. Don't get on the phone. Don't argue with them. You're not here to convince them of the damn thing. They heard you the first time. Now you're going to let them hear the most devastating thing of all, silence. But you're not here to try to put them in a headlock and wear them down. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Frank here on Zoom. Looking to see if I can get Frank here on Zoom. What's on your mind, Frank?
Hey, how you doing, Jason?
See if I can get Frank. Turn off your speakers, Frank, or turn off YouTube or whatever. You got me playing.
Okay, hold on. Let me see where.
Turn off your speakers, Frank. Or turn working on that newfangled technology.
You got that right. Okay, are we good?
I hope so.
Hey, so listen, I've been listening to you for quite a few years and enjoyed much of the content and many of the views in which your platform presents. I was the one asking about some of those individuals on Urban Views at Sirius XM radio, Karen Hunter, Clay Kane, Laura Favor Coates, Laura Daniel Coates, and they have a voice that have been speaking to a segment of Black America that have been dealing with misinformation, disinformation, and that is a vehicle that also the United Nations are framing to attack free speech, right? But more to the point, when you mentioned Sanders, the young lady, not Sanders, the one you call bald head, Joy Reid, how she turns now to the Black man and we gotta, cut all our ties to these so-called coalitions. Well, this is what Larry Daniel Favors and Karen Hunter and these guys have been doing. Yet they were attacking Black men, attacking foundational Black Americans, Jason Black.
Yeah, brother. I mean, well, here's the thing. I don't know how long you've been in the loop or whatever. These are not new names you're naming. These are folk who are already known. And there's a reason why they don't have any influence over here. Their track records are very well known. So it's not like we're breaking news here. I mean, these folks are well known. They've had their opportunity to show where their cards are and what side they're on. And they did that a while ago. So at this point, there's really nothing to talk about. There's really nothing to discuss where they're concerned. They've already shown where their allegiances are and what side they come down on. So at this point, we just taking them at their word. Their track record is very well known.
Okay, I didn't know. I've been, like I said, I've been listening to you for quite a while. I've never heard you reference them. Not that you didn't know them.
Yeah, I mean, and when you don't hear Jason mention somebody, and when I'm not saying something, I'm trying to say something. These folks are all known. So the people who are serious about the work and they are not suspect, and they don't got crazy ass, suspect paperwork and real shady paperwork and shady past behaviors. And The folk who ain't got that, is everybody knows who they are. Look, at this point right now, there are no unknown entities, people. Everybody knows where everybody comes down. You know who the pro-black is. You know who the Pan-Africanist is. You know who the bedwenches are. Yeah. You know who the bought-off niggas is. You know who the Hollywood bought-off niggas are. We know who everybody is now. Everybody's cards are on the table. We know who everybody is. We know everybody who got a job and trying to hold on to their little job. We know everybody who's trying to get into Hollywood or trying to stay in Hollywood. At this point right now, there really isn't anybody who isn't a known entity. At this point here, it's just there's the ones we fool with and the ones we don't. But the folks who are on satellite radio and this, that, and the other, if those people were really representing the soil, we wouldn't even be over here. Right. There's the real issue. If anybody on satellite radio was really 10 toes down and really getting work done for the people and really representing the people, then we wouldn't. Would you even have us over here at all if they were? Our existence is a testament to the fact that these terrestrial radio people and satellite radio people, they're all the same. They're all the same.
Yeah, one of your members mentioned Dr. Carr, who is, I guess he's a professor of Africana Studies. I think at more. I'm not sure just more of these left-wing academics who carry the water for the Democrats because. Right. They want to, their livelihood depends on it. That's why they don't really rock with us. Our livelihood does not depend on the Democrat Party. Right. I just that was my interest in terms of the voices that are coming out, and they did the same thing. Specifically, Larry Daniel Favor. She's got roots in Jamaica, right? And one of the things that she was beginning to attack is those who are foundational Black Americans, ADOS. And then she pivoted, right? Because one of her guests came on and said, yeah, there is a difference between Blacks that come from other countries and those who are here based upon the transatlantic slave trade. And they have a position that those who have come by the blood, sweat, and tears of the Blacks who were here through the enslavement. So, she pivoted and then still tried to, and that kind of garbage is the reason why they're not legitimate and they're not influential. Right. My whole thing here is if you want to speak to me, my damn thing is open. I'll be demanding folk have to call and speak to me. There isn't a single situation or a single scenario that I am afraid to confront or afraid to address. If you're in my chat room and you bring up a issue with that, there's nothing preventing you from being able to call me up and speak to me directly. These other folks come off as disingenuous and dishonest and liars because they are. Because instead of them facilitating this specific conversation, they're instead trying to manipulate it and avoid it. That's the issue. So they'll never convince anybody because they're actually avoiding it. You have to deal with the actual issue where it actually is if you're going to fix that. They're not trying to fix it. They're just trying to get us back on the plantation. Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah, there's I'm going to quote this guy named Uncle Ket. A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth any day. Ooh-wee. But there's not a disorganized truth on this side, but I see the well-organized lies coming from these type of machines. Not everyone on Sirius XM has that same position. Like Wilmer Leon, that guy he's outstanding. And what's the other game? Okay, well, here's my thing. I'm not very big about name dropping, especially with people I don't work with. So there's a lot of names out there. I'm very glad you tuned in to satellite radio and stuff. There's a lot of names out there. If these are not really people I rock with necessarily, I'm not really big on promoting folk I either can't vouch for. So I'd appreciate it if we didn't do that. But what I will say is the people who are solid folk know who they are. There's a reason why D.L. Hughley is sitting over there on BET. He can't sit among the people. There's a reason why these other folks out there, if your position was really solid, you would be begging to speak to us. You'd be demanding to speak to us. You'd be demanding to speak over here because we have an audience that they don't have access to. If they really had it like that, they would be eager to do this, especially after their crushing, humiliating defeat that they just suffered.
but they're not. And it's clear to everyone now they're avoiding this conversation because they already know what the problem is. They are not trying to actually address it because they can't address it. They're on the other side with the people working against us. And talking to us will only make them look worse than they already are. Because we're going to talk about things that they don't discuss. I'll let you have the last word.
I don't want this to slip from my memory. One of the things when I heard Loree Daniel Favors, and I'm not promoting her, and I know I'm not promoting anyone else, but when she basically bent the knee in admitting that, man, we've made a mistake to join the coalition of this so-called coalition with other the Latinos, the poor whites, and all this kind of stuff. And I was shocked that she actually said that over the air because of her brashness and pride that she carries with the Democratic push. But she bent the knee, and I was shocked. I'm not saying that to her credit, but it was really shocking that she said it. And I'm just saying as a testament of the defeat that those who were pushing the Democratic Party, no matter what, vote blue, no matter what, she bent the knee. And that was I'm not gloating in.
Well, I mean, look, the bottom line is adversity reveals who you really are. There's a lot of folk out there who just been trying to make it and survive in media. They couldn't make it on broadcast, terrestrial radio, whatever. But the truth of the matter is track record matters. So take a look over the course of the long run. If they solid, it's going to be clear. If they're not, then they all over the damn place. Every time you talk to them, it's a different thing. If a big event happens, they're changing positions. That's a telltale sign that, this is a person who's more interested in being entertaining than being solid. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. This is all very, very important in that regard. You know, it's just, there's a lot of folk out there who've been trying to make it as entertainers. There's a lot of folks out there who've been trying to make it as entertainers and really couldn't make it crack off any other way. And this last election has exposed that all of your so-called celebrities, they ain't got the pull that you were hoping they had either. So it's a disaster. It's a disaster. It's a total disaster now. And should have seen it coming. But I know they ain't ready for what we dropping on them tonight. Don't tell us about building no bridges. We good. We're not building bridges. We building walls. We did this without you, Joy. We did this with you attacking black men, attacking black first women. We did this with you attacking us. Why the hell do we got to sit up here and accept any apologies from you, and you haven't even apologized? Why do we need to accept anything from you? We did this without you. We did this despite you.
And deal with it, nigga.
Why do we need to sit up here and join hands with you and shake hands with you? We did this despite you. We overcame you and got this done. We don't owe you anything. And there's nothing to gain by letting you slither over here next to us other than to undermine us. We're good. We did this despite you. So we just gonna keep it going on like it is. You don't worry about what we doing over here. You worry about keeping that penny in the ass job you got over there at MSNBC. You worry about that. That's what you worry yourself with. Don't worry about what we doing. Somebody in chat room talking, what did Joy do? Okay, you're going to have to watch it on the replays. You're going to have to watch it on the replay. Want to send a shout out here to everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo, Red, White, and FBA, Logic Before Emotion here, Cameron Fairchild, Rika, Mr. Johnson, everybody else here, Harlem King, thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. Also, big shout out here to Mr. Anderson.
I told you all that I was the greatest of all time. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time.
All right, Mr. Anderson, thank you very much for your support here. We appreciate that. You're over there overseas. But show me a man's bank account and you'll see what they love. B1, thank you very much for your support, brother. I appreciate that. Brothers and sisters, we just getting smoking. We just getting cooking. The crusade moves on. We don't take a holiday. We're not taking a holiday. We're not taking no time off. We ain't nothing. We rolling like a freight train, and we will continue to do so. And if they thought that what we've done up until now has made upheaval of everything, consider the fact that we ain't even slowing down. I remind you all again, I am just the messenger. All of you are the message that I came to bring. All of you are the message I came to bring. They hear the hell out of you now. I warned you they're going to attempt to ignore it. Them body blows got through now. They're limping. They hurting. They're like, damn, them niggas for real. They're going to try to shake it off and act like, well, they'll get over it. So just understand, they're going to need another couple ass whoopings before they take it seriously. Before they really do believe this is the new way and they're going to have to change their ways, just understand they're going to have to get another couple ass whoopings before they make that turn. And that's quite okay because we in the business of ass whooping and business is about to pick up.
And deal with it, nigga.
Business is about to pick up. So we can do this all over again in 26, 28 till infinity. We'll be right here. It's going to be a whole bunch of them over there on that side trying to slither their way back over here. Be looking for more of that. And I'm just letting y'all know we slamming the damn doors on hoes. We're slamming the door on them. We don't need you. We don't want you. Stay over there where you at. Stay over there in your Hollywood bubbles with your Diddy parties and deviants. Stay over there. We're going to get this done without you, and furthermore, we need to. They brought out Meg Thee Stallion. They brought out Steve Harvey. They brought out Beyonce Knowles. It didn't make a difference. We still won. It didn't make any difference. That's what the world needed to see. Ain't nobody going to want to bring out Meg Thee Stallion and twerk that BBL next time. Next time they get that in mind, that's going to leave this experience has left a real sour taste in their mouths. But don't worry, bring out some celebrities. That'll get the Negroes to the polls. Okay, this left a real sour taste in their mouths. The celebrities not going to want to show up for no more political rallies. Whole bunch of folk got set straight. And we're just getting started. And if you are new here at the Black Channel, welcome to the new Black media. We do this every weekend, holidays, some days in between. So click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we're here. If you haven't been to our website, Black Channel Films, you want to go check out our groundbreaking, best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., Gentrified Race War. More news coming here. Keep your eyes and ears open. BlackChannelFilms.com. I want to thank all of you for tuning in live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. It's been another flamethrower of a broadcast, and it will continue. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future, and the future is uncompromising.